everybody! We are die rolling. Jack's back in the hot seat.
Woo!
So hot.
Oh, not a woo.
Oh,
So hot right now.
I miss Ollie as well.
Thank you very much, Ollie, for your previous DM.
But you are fired!
That's why he's not here. He's in the pit of shame down there.
Yeah.
Just over there.
Ollie did a fantastic job.
He wasn't fine.
He did
an excellent job. Excellent job. He's on his holes. Thank you very much. We're going to play Dungeons and Dragons for you and for us, really. I say it's for you. It's also for us.
It's
mostly for you and for you. And let's go on with this blabbering and let's roll the intro.
Hello, boys. Pink lemonade?
Mom!
Back.
We are back.
Oh,
We are back.
Oh dear.
So last week Felix was not able to join us. He had the lurgy. This week we are missing.
I started
Missing
slightly.
So who are you going to delegate your kerfuffle to this week, Felix?
Well, I think it's going to be Zolan.
Zolan's. Go on,
welcome.
give me some alliteration on this
You're
one.
welcome.
I can't even. I'm trying to think of what happened last week now.
Explanation.
Boom. Well,
On the
not
xylophone.
technically
Well, it's
alliteration,
yeah,
is it?
well, you know,
I guess.
it's the best I can
There
do.
we go. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's xylophone.
How did we even start last week? Let's have some collaborative input on this one. How did we start?
we
It was an explosion.
were getting ready to blow something up.
That's right. Felix had headed to Willem
Yes.
with Jammy
Yeah.
to. I can't believe you went off there. Well, you went. He went.
It was something of a crisis of confidence.
That's right. Yeah.
In the whole being a hero shtick.
Yeah. So we didn't have Felix last session, but the first thing to do was, how do we get Malcolm out of the suffocating robot? But luckily, old Elantrix, who's not with us at the moment, has managed to open you out, and you were
Yep.
saved.
I was saved.
But
Yes.
then we
So
were.
she is.
From
Elantrix is-
armoured
yeah,
suffocation.
Elantrix.
Jack still plays characters.
I hope you DM and play from
Yeah,
the same
we
side
do.
of the table right now. That would be good. So we ended up having to, essentially, we agreed to destroy Bastion. Took a little while to go in there. And try and convince the Just Decrees that we have been eliminated.
Yes.
They've succeeded.
We buried the armour.
That's right. Both armours.
Yep.
Thorinir's kindly marked a tree.
So
if it's
we can
still
find them
there, we don't
if
know
we need
Just
to.
in case it
Yeah.
needs, it's important.
if that tree's.
Because they were pretty badass.
They were pretty badass, yeah. So we took all of Jammy's barrels of powder, explosive powder, and put them in the centre of Bastion.
And wiped it off the face of the earth.
I assume you guys
Kaboom.
didn't look at the explosion, you just walked away.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Probably,
Yeah.
oh, definitely, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely the camera shot was
Yeah.
of us, kabloom behind. Yeah,
I got it.
Cool guys don't look.
Yeah.
And girls.
didn't even ripple our hair.
I had a sneaky peek. As
So-
a badger.
If anybody was going to, it would have been.
Yeah. So after that, we decided to head north to Spetacazr, essentially, go and head on our standard mission. But it got a bit late, we're all exhausted, we fought through the night, so we decided to take a stop, essentially, on our journey. And Badger Thorinir appeared to dig us a hovel. A nice kidney bean shaped hovel.
Is that still there?
Probably, yeah, it will still be there. Yeah.
Might be useful
I
on the
think
way
it's,
back.
it's covered in
Yeah.
leaves.
Okay.
But
And luckily, Thorinir made Zolan the big bed. I got the human-sized bed, and he made 2 gnome-sized beds.
Gnome-sized
3 gnome-sized
bunk
bunk beds. For Malcolm and Elantrix, not. And I believe you might have slept in your badger form. No, you was observing
I was
from.
on guard for a
You was
bit.
on guard, yeah. Your little tuft on your head, just appearing, periscope. Caught 2 guards though. There is a patrol. People are patrolling this, what looks to be a desolate land. A very beautiful green ocean, but of grass, but pretty desolate, but yet there are still patrols. But by the morning, we'd all awoke off to Spetacazr, but before we'd reached it, we have come across what we all believe to be the curtain of, I can't remember. It's called not the Iron Curtain. What's it called?
Spetacazr curtain.
Is it called the Spetacazr curtain? Well, yeah, the
Spetacazr curtain.
Yeah, which was a series of pylons, which was across the road. We had a little guard outpost with some clearly marked guards at the front. Yet, as far as the eye could see, they were stretching basically horizontally. We all thought it was vertical down the road, but it wasn't. It was horizontal.
Crucifixion.
Yeah. Which we'd identified to be what were they called? They were called thunder spheres.
Thunder crystals.
Thunder. It's in my book. I wrote it down. Were they thunder crystals?
You cannot beat my thunder crystal.
What were they called? Thunder crystals, yeah, which I knew was evocation magic, but it's ridiculous because they're powered by solar and not thunder. Idiots named this.
The sun is made of thunder.
Possibly.
The sun is made of thunder.
And it was actually...
Might have had too much.
We ended up having a successful breach of the curtain.
Not enough.
Well, but 4 people. We made it through.
We got through.
We did make it through.
Bullshit baffled brains on that one.
We tried to formulate a plan on the approach to the guards, yet didn't agree on a plan before we were too close. So we just had to wing
We
it.
loved it. Actually, I think we must have done some pretty amazing dice rolls behind the screen there.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how we did that.
No.
I really don't know how we got away with
Not
that.
straight through. The
Yeah.
face of Silden, Elandrix, straight through. Luckily, we had a letter of companionship. What was it? You had a letter of companionship for Thorinir to be let through. How did we get through, Malcolm? Because I remember just blabbling.
I used my
you did your military rank, didn't you?
military rank to baffle my way through, and
Yeah.
I still can't believe I got away with it. I think that's going to have some serious repercussions somewhere
Drummer
down
boy.
the line.
Yeah.
Does Drummer Boy get through a lot?
Lieutenant, thank you.
Oh yes,
Drummer Boy.
Lieutenant Drummer Boy. That is actually my name on my ID. Lieutenant Drummer Boy.
Drummer Boy. Zolan managed to get through after trying to fabricate an alter ego, then realising that Felix's documents of ownership were not in my alter ego, and trying to use my last name. Yeah, I didn't think Felix, I'm sorry. I was trying to make sure we'd get you through, and
You
in
got
turn...
fixed in the end, right?
Maybe.
You said it was your last name.
It was my last name, and the document's a bit weird.
When Friedman
But-
comes back after sorting out that Smasher bot 600.
Yeah, the Destructobot 5000 with the
that
6000 retrofit upgrades is what it was. Yeah, hopefully Felix can get through the curtain.
Friedrich Zolan.
Yeah, but 4 of our party have managed to get through, and we basically finished on the other side of the curtain, this guard post. And
Which was kind of lucky, really, because Plan B was for me to float over the top
that needs to happen.
using my potion of levitation.
That potion of, yes. One day it will happen. But that was
very
pretty
much,
much it,
Shirley.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Zolan's xylophone. Okay. Other words beginning with X are available.
But would you want to use them?
Xanadu.
Xanadu.
Down the jumps.
So we're going to pick up half an hour or so after your egress through the gate. You've been travelling north towards Spetacazr. Alantrix had not decided to go on ahead. They had something urgent they needed to attend to. From behind you, pitter-patter of 4 tiny little paws are overheard. It appears Felix has made his way through the gate.
Stop.
That was easier than expected.
That was. How did you make it through this gate?
I'm going to be really honest, they didn't even question me, I just walked straight through. Joy.
We should have dropped that.
If you just look like you know what you're doing, it's fine.
Clipboard.
One of the high-vis clipboard.
Yeah.
Hard hat.
Next time.
dog sword delivery coming through.
Well, it's good to see you. How are you feeling?
I was a little bit tired, but I'm alright now. I'm all rested up. Yeah, doing alright. Left Jammy to blow things up in Willem whenever they start building. So he seemed pretty happy with himself.
That's not going to end well, is it?
It's gonna be great.
Did he hear what we did? Like, did he literally hear what we did?
The explosion.
He would have been
I heard it.
pretty proud.
Yeah, we both heard it. Yeah, it's pretty big.
Must be disappointing not to have seen that.
It's fine.
On the horizon.
1,000 mile bell.
A great shadow. A great outline of a bell. A huge, towering bell.
How far is my neck crank?
Yeah.
What angle?
The biggest bell you've seen.
I immediately pull tools out and try to measure this bell.
Okay.
What's that
What
thing in
tools- what tools
What's
do
that
have?
thing in architecture? You know, you
Yeah,
set it
yeah.
at 6 foot, you get a line to the
Colours of
top.
Training architect at one
What
point.
was
I
that
didn't get
tool
that far on
called?
the course.
What was that tool called?
Theodolite?
Yeah.
That'll do. The theodolite.
That's the one for the distances, isn't it?
Well, that's what I'm going to use.
Laser.
What have you got? Kits have you got?
I've got all the kits, mate.
Have you got any kits that are good at measuring distances?
Me peepers.
Because you can give me a.
You got two good ones.
You give me an
right?
insight roll unless you've got anything more specific.
Possibly. Let me just have a look. Sorry, I haven't opened up mechanic to sheet yet. I don't. No, I've got thieves' tools. I've got alchemist tools. I've got cooking utensils. I don't believe I have.
How many spatulas?
Well, it depends how far.
Alchemist
How,
kit.
you know,
Okay, so give me
three.
a base level insight roll then.
Fuck.
You are,
Anyone got inspiration? I'm not accepting this.
you
1,000
are going to be
miles.
extremely biased because you're not going to want to believe this.
I know, but it's a nat 1.
Um,
It's 2,000 miles high.
big
Your-
bell.
So it is.
Your mind is blown. Atlantrix was right.
I fucking don't want to believe
I
it.
tell you what, that's one big bell. Even for me, and I'm looking at it from a much higher up angle than you are. That's a big bell.
Do you think they built on its side and then they just like line it up? Or how did they do
Is
it?
this bell just sort of sat on the ground, or is it
So
on a
So,
framework?
so this is it's just crept into your distance. So you can't make anything specific out about it. There's just an enormous shadow of a bell,
Okay.
huge great outline you can just about make out on the horizon. And it's very, very tall. We're talking like hill and beyond size.
Do you think it's small and close or big and far away?
That's fun.
Oh,
Definitely think it's big and far away.
okay.
That's a big bell.
It's the way that it
It's
just
about
sort of.
miles.
I don't know
misty.
yet.
How big does your tape measure go?
I've only got a gnomish size tape measure.
6
Only-
inches.
Yeah, so I've only got a 3 foot tape measure.
Roll a
Me.
d12.
You do have D12s. It's a big bell though.
Regardless of its exact size, it's an impressively large structure.
Big bell.
Maybe.
At the moment, I'm pretty impressed. Doesn't want to be. You know, he's
Matte painting.
really got to swallow his pride and be like, that is a big bell.
So,
That is a big bell.
so how far away? We're slightly different colour at the bottom of the. So, how far away from the city are we? We can see this thing.
You could walk there in an hour.
An hour.
It's
I reckon we're about an
and it's
hour
that
away
big.
from that thing.
I reckon it's about 4 miles away.
He's just thinking, that's a big bell.
Do you think Spetacazr is going to be safe for Landrix? Is this...
She's gone.
She's not with us.
She's moved on.
Where the hell is Landrix?
She's taken a knot and buggered off somewhere.
Do you think this place is going to be safe? Do we have to worry like Bastion, or is this going to be okay?
I would be slightly concerned, considering this was a territory held exclusively to the Augurs of Now. From what I spoke to Atlantrix, we haven't heard about the Curtain for the first 2 years, and for it to be controlled by people that aren't Augurs does seem a little suspicious to me.
Well,
I thought,
We don't even know why they raised the curtain.
no.
Elantrix seemed to be fairly confident that she wasn't going to have any trouble in the city.
No, Elantrix wasn't aware of this curtain that's been
No.
erected
Anyone
either.
remember, because I believe she asked, why is this here? This never used to be here. Anyone remember what the guard said?
No.
No.
It's only half an hour ago. This bell has me in awe. I
Yeah,
cannot
we're
think
just-
straight.
You're just lucky. I don't understand why Elantrix isn't here, so she would have loved to have seen the look on your face.
I know.
She knows.
It's a big bell.
You're walking towards the
Yes.
large bell.
Yeah.
It's becoming increasingly into sight as you walk 5, 10, 15 minutes. The landscape is fairly barren here. It's not quite as verdant and lush as the areas around Willem and around Bastion that you were previously. It's becoming drier, a little more earthy rather than deserty. It's not sand, but it's barren. It's barren, and it's quite flat for quite a large part. You've got very good vision all around you. There's the odd rock, there's the odd bush, there's the odd small creature that runs past, but mostly this is a straight path now leading towards Spetacazr, and nothing as far as the eye can see, with the exception of this colossal structure which is becoming sharper. The light from the knell is catching from the sun. It's clearly metallic, and every now and again the light catches in such a way to blind you, just very temporarily, as it dazzles against you, and it's creating patterns all across the earth, spilling out as the sun reflects upon it.
Zola, do you think they made it of like flat panels and then they brazed it together, or you couldn't cast a bell that bit unless maybe they cast it in sand and then?
That is exactly what I'm thinking right now. I
How the
have
hell do they
no
manufacture that?
idea. I would argue to say that we gnomes are the finest craftsmen in the land. We build the tallest structures in all of the land. You should see the
Relative
spires
to gnomes?
at the university. No, people. We are one of the only people that might be drafted into the Elven lands to actually construct for them. It's not often to see the site, but it's.
Do you think that gnomes might have been involved in the making of this?
We would have known about this. This would be everywhere. This would be at the
This
university.
is
This would be
what
the
I keep-
aspiring structure
This
of
is
the
what I
university
keep
for us
thinking
all
about.
to.
I mean, this is quite a thing.
More than quite a thing.
I think
As we're
it's-
approaching it, it's
It's bats. In my forest, bats make towers of themselves,
Do they?
and when the sun catches them, it reflects. This is just bats. It's a lot of bats.
that's a
More
lot of
bats
bats.
than I've ever seen.
How many bats?
But
I think weirdly,
it's bats.
it's probably the most realistic
the way things are going. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it was all bats.
to the tower of bats.
To the tower.
Yeah, it could be an illusion.
The power
May have
of
known,
it.
yeah.
It could be
Tower.
completely
Could be-
flat, you know. I mean, it might be just a great big cardboard cutout for all we know at the moment. Am I right in thinking that this is one of a number of these?
Don't believe not of great nails. I think this is the
This is the
great
great
nail.
nail. This
There
is
are
the
a series
one.
of nails amongst the toxins, the outposts of
Okay.
Elantrix's group.
The August.
Augurs, yes. But I believe this is the only one of this sheer proportion. And what she's told me.
Okay.
As you walk closer and closer and closer, the shadow evidently casts to the northeast direction off of the knell, covers a huge, great swathe of this barren land. No people around that you can make out.
Any bats?
Swarms of
Only a mile high tower.
8 massive metal bats. No, 8 massive metal and timber towers scrape the sky, many thousands of feet high, supporting a central castle-sized headstock above the bell, to which the almighty great now attaches.
Did I just hear you say thousands of feet?
Possibly.
What? Thousands of feet.
Yeah.
Bat
Could
Bat
be.
feet.
Bat
is,
speed.
is probably 1,000 meters. What was it?
Miles.
Miles.
Miles is long.
Yeah.
Big.
Many thousands of
It's alright.
feet.
You squint as the dull brass catches the light and reflects dazzling ripples all across the landscape, sometimes blinding you. A complex system of mechanised pulleys, wheels and ropes disappear from the top of the Nell into the towers. Higher than the spires of Equa. More breathtaking than the cliffs of Baal. Even by gnomish standards, the magnitude of this construction is unlike anything you've ever seen.
I can confirm it is.
It's not bats.
It's
I see
not
that.
bats.
I see that now.
There might be some up the top though. If you look closely, I think there's some flying around up the top of it.
Up in the bell tower.
In the
How
belfry.
close are we to any of these structures?
To the actual Nell.
Yeah,
itself.
to any of them.
So-
To any
and the towers are supporting.
Yeah.
So the 8 towers are around the bell.
Yeah.
And it's evident that they are holding it up. The bell is suspended off of the ground. There is clearly a gap underneath it that's a few meters at least. It's not held considerably up, but it's tens of meters high at least. You are close. You're approaching this area.
Is there anybody around?
There's nobody that you can see as you're approaching the Nell anywhere.
Is there a door?
So if
There's a
you-
little entrance, but is
So if you picture the Nell,
yeah.
there's a gap the whole way around.
Okay.
So you could, in terms of a door, you could enter from.
You could go
Any side.
underneath and inside the great big clangy thing.
Where's stone cunning when you need it, eh? Must investigate these towers.
Well, they're made out of wood.
And a bit of metal,
Metal and timber.
but no stone.
Stone has not been quoted.
Did you just say there were pulleys and stuff?
There are a large number of pulleys, ropes, chains, cogs, mechanisms between these towers and the bell. Clearly, they are involved in the suspension of it, and there's a lot of them.
Do any of these ring the bell?
Does that ring a bell?
Pop it.
I just want to know how we killed the god. And then the bell rang. Who rang the bell? Who knew that? Why did
That
it
is
ring?
true. It did ring.
Yeah,
the bell.
did the destruction of the god create a shockwave or something?
But something like that from when we were extracted from the mouth of the gnome line, the epicenter of the explosion seemed to be at the gnome line, if I remember right, and it was everything had been destroyed from everywhere around the center of the gnome line
So-
at Dathkar Crag.
Could the
But-
bell be tuned to pick up the frequency of whatever caused that?
No idea. I don't know if I would have ever I've seen nothing like this. I don't think I'd have had an understanding of anything like this. I
I've
wouldn't have thought so.
Crazy idea.
No, you're not going to go run up to it and hit it with your sword.
No, I was thinking maybe we just ask someone because I have no idea.
No
That's a good idea.
I do want to head forward and maybe just inspect the buildings.
I
want to know if the gnomes built this.
I want to run up and hit it with my stick.
So you're walking. Okay. So,
Oh,
so if
yeah.
you
I'm
run
gonna head closer.
Oh,
So I
okay.
can. I might expect the rivet. The rivet work. Is there any little scroll details? Any little bit of embellishments?
Okay, if you can give me an investigation roll, please.
20 dirty.
Dirty 20.
Yeah,
Dirty 20.
not natural.
So, yeah. So you get close to them. These things are massive. It's
Yeah.
absurd how these towers would have been constructed. Just the sheer manpower and number of materials you would have required to build
Yeah.
the bell, the Nell, and the towers is immense. And there's nothing for miles and miles around.
That's good. That's what I'm thinking. This is why there's
Where
nothing
is
for
all
miles
this?
around.
Where's all the brass come from to make this thing?
I can assume probably all around. There's no trees. There's no nothing.
Where have they been mining?
So when you investigate, there are indications to you that the gnomes have been involved in this construction.
What?
but it doesn't. But there's hybrid work in there.
Yeah.
Dwarves. There's definitely the shoddy workmanship of humans.
I say we're obviously the foreman which controlled this
and there's
project.
potentially some other influences in there as well. Whereas you've seen like elvish and gnomish sort of collaborations in the past, this looks more of a hybrid work. There's
Claro's been up to.
there's influences from all over the
You
place.
mean he's got a hard hat?
I'd just ask you a question about gnomes. Like through my growing up in at the third little hill, are gnomes? Did I ever get any idea of deceit from a government? I had thought we were a pretty free speaking nation amongst ourselves, and we celebrated the achievements of our own and stuff. Is there any?
So if you want to give me a history,
Yeah, was there? I'm just trying to think of. Was there any reason that we could have been deceived by our own people? You know, that we've known about this, but it's been kept a secret.
Rolls a 20 and then he's just like, oh, I remember there was a...
What check was it?
history.
Oh, well, it's not going to be. It's not going to be grand. It's a 3+, so it's going to be like a 5. So it's not going to be.
You're not sure.
Yeah, this is a burner phone.
You have no opinion.
I
That's
knew
the
it.
burner phone I've seen.
Yeah. What even is history? Plus, it would have been a 6 actually. Any better?
Yeah, no, you're not sure.
Weird.
Bloody knew it with your multiple phones. You're Mr. Medium, aren't you?
Mr. Medium. Who's Mr.
Yeah.
Medium?
Not quite Mr. Big.
What a dad joke! I love it. Love it. God knows. Let's get inside. We must learn about this place.
Do you think they have like a museum?
Oh, they have to.
Gift shop.
Got to be. As soon as you walk in, there's got to be.
An information desk?
Oh,
There's got to be.
a tapestry
have we
of the
not?
construction.
Is there no sign of anybody around anywhere?
So there's still no person that you can see.
Super
Is there any?
It's going to be super magic.
Is there any? Is there any structures other than
Oh, Superman.
the bell and the framework supporting the bell?
So underneath the bell, your eyes have to adjust a little bit because it's quite bright out today. It's quite sunny, and you're getting this reflection off of the bell as well. And as you sort of peer under this interior, as it were, to the bell, there are structures within it.
Inside.
You can't, but your eyes aren't quite adjusted yet. You know, it's just much darker in there.
This is the hub for the augurs. This is the central library here, right? I think all of the knowledge that's gathered throughout all the toxins, all the way through Asher, will get brought back to here, to Spetacazr, to be shared amongst all their peers and documented and filed and.
Bet their choir sounds good.
Does this look like the university you went to, Zola?
Nothing like it. No, we had a very traditional gnomish place.
Yeah.
This is.
What does that mean?
What does that mean, Jack?
Small
Where you
door.
studied.
Yeah.
So you've not seen the Resplendent Academy.
No, I've heard about the Resplendent Academy.
But where you studied, I mean, you tell me.
Like
where I
public
studied
school.
was the village hall. At the third little hill. Pretty much, just the village hall.
Did
Okay.
they sell tinnies on a Saturday
Oh,
night?
definitely £2 a tin, yeah.
Like a burger as well.
Yeah, through one of those little hatches at the side. Open, oh, tin's great. Red stripe, I'll have two.
Yeah. With that really plasticky cheese. And,
Yeah, oh, delicious.
Village
Like-
halls must be a very English thing.
Possibly,
Or
yeah.
gnomish thing.
Yeah, definitely a little gnomish thing.
Well, I guess we're going to go under the bell.
Mm.
See what we can find.
So you venture within the bell. Just generally, we're not entering combat, but just generally, I'd just like to know how how this 4 is usually configured when you're walking.
Oh, definitely side by side, monkeys style. Arms around each other's waist.
So it's real height differences.
I don't know if that's going to work. Felix will probably hang back.
Zolan would just be walking. He wouldn't be paying much attention to his comrade. He'd just be looking and just quite fascinated. And just keep. I'd be heading towards the centre. I'd just be walking.
Yeah, I've got to admit,
I would just be looking around. Yeah.
I'm here. I'm an Englishman in New York at this point, just looking around and amazed by it all.
Okay, so there's not really you're just loosely
Yeah.
strolling together. Felix in behind.
Just looking the other way.
They're not paying any attention.
Looking
Not
for
a
trees.
tree, don't care.
Always looking for trees.
Are there any trees?
No.
No.
Oh.
Well, he's looking really hard.
Yeah.
I am looking up to see if there's a clapper in this here bell.
Yes.
Now that we're in underneath it.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
So
I thought it was the dong.
as you enter, so you do look. Yeah, you look up. It's
I thought
dark.
it was the dog as well.
It's very dark at the top of the bell, the top of the nail as you look in, and the scale is phenomenal. Like the scale is, I can't really describe the scale, but it is bigger than the mountain you ascended when you climbed through the clouds of bark.
I would love to scale in miles. That would
This, I mean,
be
I know how big it is in miles, but you roll a one.
be...
You haven't got a clue. You failed that module.
I know.
It's too dark at the top, especially with your human eyes.
Of course.
There's no lighting.
You've got to guess something about that way.
This is a very dark environment that we're in. It's completely shrouded by shadow now.
It's the echo.
So it's certainly, there's a type of echo that's going on.
Okay.
A wave echo?
So as soon as you enter, the first thing that hits you is it's considerably cooler the second you step
Oh, nice.
under that bell. It's almost like a cool curtain that you're walking into. It's not cold, it's a refreshing coolness, having walked for quite a number of miles over
Metallic.
a few days now.
It's like stepping onto a plane.
The other thing that grabs you straight away, the second you walk into that veil underneath the knell, you feel like you're spinning. You feel kind of off balance and dizzy, like when you're walking onto a roundabout and you're getting off a roundabout in a children's park. The ground seems like it's moving. It constantly seems to rumble. It's very, very dizzying. Very dizzying. Winds are spinning around the centre of the knell. You can almost see them whirling around the inside, and as they whirl, it creates this tuneful drone the whole time. So it's like the whistling of the wind, but with a little bit of that tinkling metallic.
You've looked this up, haven't you? You've looked up what it would be like to have a bell that big.
I
And
don't know if that article exists. But
It
you
is.
can write it.
It's pleasantly uncomfortable in here.
Mm.
Felix is like, his hair is like with the wind.
is there no torches lit? No.
There's no lighting really as such at all. There's
Fucking great. Isn't it?
The elves can see in the dark.
Yeah,
so why would they need torches?
No,
now?
of course not.
it's fairly dim, but it's not so dim that we're in dim light. You're in normal lighting, but it's just it's
You light a
shadowy.
torch and it just instantly goes out.
It goes up. Whoa!
There's a few other things you notice. Along with this wind that's sort of rushing and whirring on the inside and in this circular motion, lots of the earth sort of comes with it. So there's a lot of earthy grain
Is it
dust
in the eyes?
in your that's coming around in, and it will get in your eyes. It stings a little bit, like being in a very gentle sandstorm the whole time.
Felix is going to use his little neckerchief and pop it over his
Oh, yeah. Is it red as well?
Good.
Is that
It's that's a good question. It's brown and gold.
Is it?
Yeah.
What, a bit of a Louis Vuitton?
It's got little green. It's got little gold embellishments on it.
A little bit of Louis.
Yeah.
You posh dog.
I assumed sort of red with white spots.
Only on Sundays.
But you could buy one.
See what I can find.
The next thing you notice, flying in the opposite direction. So the wind is very clearly rotating in a clockwise direction, and then rotating anti-clockwise. Are a number of very small little bugs.
Bats.
So a number of these little fly-like creatures, which just sort of glisten occasionally as they catch some of the residual light that's coming from underneath the bell. They've clearly got some shiny shell, something on them. and they're sort of counterclockwise rotating the whole time. And again, it's fairly annoying as they hit you in the face. They're only small little things, but they're unusual that they're flying counterclockwise to the wind. And they're in sort of perfect unison as well. So, like when you see a flock of birds perfectly navigate together, they're in exactly the same formation. It's dizzying. That is the most overwhelming sensation. It's very dizzying.
I was already overwhelmed.
How, now that we've walked underneath the bell and we're within, how thick is the bell?
How thick is the bell? Good question.
She thick.
How many miles?
Chonky.
So we are. Yeah,
It's a big mama bear.
we're talking
Big.
a number of feet. It's not so thin that you could perforate it simply. It's a few feet.
It's sort of 5 or 6 bats.
Yeah, yeah.
That's going to be our unit of measurement for now.
But it's a big old, absurdly large construction. All manner of scale sort of goes out the window when you're staring at something this large. The next thing that just grabs you is as you're drawn away from these.
Demon.
It's just a demon. Huge fiery demon.
I didn't notice that.
I'm glad you came.
So once you look down, you take clearly you're all drawn to this straight away. Such an absurdly large creation. You then see a number of smaller bells within it. The bells have similar small tower constructions that are holding them up, frameworks with different devices, pulleys and different gears and cogs holding them all together. But these bells are still large bells. These are like building-sized bells within this much larger bell, and they're above a number of buildings around this centre. So again, suspended above these different buildings. Look to be again made of brass. They're not glinting quite in the same way as the Great Knell was, because there's no light in here at all to glint off it. And then as you stare down underneath these bells, the buildings, there's a lot of brass in these buildings. Some of them are domed the whole way, from floor to ceiling is just one huge brass dome. But equally there are squared off rectangular buildings which all seem to have some element of metal work on their exterior, but it's a lot of brick work as well.
Does it seem to have quite a heavy patina? Is it very well maintained, or does it look ancient?
Oh yeah, do they polish it?
Yeah.
A lot of brasso.
So inside, inside is very hard to tell.
Yeah.
Outside it wasn't glimmering to the nth degree.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of age to it. It was definitely dull and had some erosion, rusting. Yeah.
How many bells have we got? A full scale of A through G? As we go on Rickroll someone, if we can. Do we have the full? Do we have?
It's quite. I would describe it as a drone, a continuous drone. And as none of your bards, it might be tricky to discover the note.
The world's biggest Rickroll.
Yeah. That would be good.
The underneath these different buildings, they're all atop kind of little earthy mounds. So there'll be a building, and then they're on almost a very, very small raised mound of earth with grooves all the way down, very smooth mounds that they sit atop of, and then it drops quite suddenly. So they're raised up. All the buildings are raised up a little bit.
Is there any pattern to the layout of these buildings? Does it look like?
It's not symmetrical.
If we
Far
can
from
imagine
symmetrical.
looking from above it,
Yeah.
would it look like there's? I know we're not, but we've got to work it out from ground level position. But does it look like they are set specific positions?
Feel free to give me a investigation roll.
Investigation.
A gigantic musical instrument roll.
That is not massive. That is an 8.
no real pattern that you can see.
Okay.
Do you reckon with all these gears and pulleys that maybe it's hooked up to like an organ in the middle
Oh.
and someone can play
Bong,
the
bong,
organ?
bong, 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 bong.
It'd be amazing.
Can you imagine the
It would be
Metallica
good,
concert here? Bong.
The earth around these buildings looks like the land has eroded. That's kind of how it looks, as you might see the edge of a cliff face or something. And the way that these buildings doesn't look, it's so smooth it doesn't look man-made. It looks like an erosion of sorts.
And the buildings are on top of these.
Yes, they're not high. We're only talking. It's only that they're only raised a few feet, but that it's so specific that all of these have this.
Everywhere
this-
else is so flat.
Yes, exactly.
I'm assuming there's a building underground.
Ah,
Just I don't know what's holding this up. Unless there's someone down there.
there's got to be some pretty serious foundations.
It's some
for the-
pretty serious foundations, yeah.
Does there appear to be any form of tour guide to anyone?
Anyone.
Anyone about?
At this point in time, there is 80 or so feet away from you, somebody dressed in white robes, not dissimilar to the robes that you saw in Wick. They very much appear to be an augur. They're walking with their head down and back to you towards the central part of this Spetacazr.
We should go and ask them what it's all about.
I think you're right.
Okay, so
Let's
you,
go.
you head across to them. It's a great big space. There's a lot, and there's not a huge number of buildings here. They're reasonably spaced out, and they've all got this bell above them, which require a lot of framework just to support in the first place. So, almost there's an unusual amount of infrastructure just to make a single building with one of these bells supported above it. So you go right up to this augur. They've got a hooded white long gown. They've got gold trim that you can still make out. This one's bald, and they've got pointed ears. So it looks
I've
to
got
be
no
an elf.
idea what we're supposed to do now that we're here, to be honest with you.
We need to go and see the library, and we need to find out evidence for everything Elantrix was telling us about the bell and the people to represent and all the stuff.
Was there any specific greetings that I picked up from Elantrix? Or even just living in
How?
Wit for a while? Yeah, is there a way that they greet each other? There's a consistent namaste or something, you know.
They are the augurs, particularly. Don't
Sniff.
have no. The answer is no. The answer is no. They're not typically a group that makes small talk. They're relatively
Everyone would talk.
quiet and isolated when, and they're scholars at the end of the day. They like to be introspective. They don't believe to be wasteful with their words. When they do speak, it tends to be about their.
They bugged me for 2 years. I do not get this impression.
They only got excited about talking about Void, right?
Oh god, they loved it. Wouldn't shut up about it.
That is their main topic.
Can you join the augurs? No, I don't want to.
Who's going to introduce themselves?
Well, you know how to talk to them.
I avoided them for 2 years.
Well, seems like a great time to get to know this one.
Good day, sir. Sir?
He turns around. It is a sir. And looks at you. Hello.
What an impressive bell you have here. Now, rather.
Thank you.
I didn't hear about these collection of miniature bells all around. I only heard about the great now.
I apologise. I don't think I've seen you before.
And it is great. No, we're accompanied with Elantrix, who's I don't know where. She's here. She left us an hour ago and told us to catch up, but we wasn't expecting this.
She's back here, is she?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
I haven't seen her for some time. My name is Phi.
Phi with a P?
F.
F.
I.
Not
What language are you
F-I.
talking in, by the way?
Elven.
Yes,
I would have
he
assumed
may or may
Elven.
not be able to understand.
I would have assumed.
okay.
Luckily, I learned
Yeah,
Elvish.
he's speaking Elvish.
Yeah.
So his name is Fi. Atlantrix is back, and you are friends of hers.
Yes.
Where have you come from?
Yeah,
Where do-
we've come from somewhere.
Yeah. It's a bit of a complicated story.
Lots
that
of different
one.
places.
Yeah.
He's not unusually. He's not particularly staring at you two, which is an experience you've had. You might expect or have had at times. He's treating you all reasonably for now.
Could you point us in the direction of where Atlantrix may be?
I've not seen her yet.
Anywhere where there's food?
Ooh, food.
We're pretty
Oh.
hungry.
Yes.
Food.
Yes,
Right, yeah.
there's a store.
A store?
There is.
Don't have a lot of money.
Does Atlantrix have like a credit?
Yeah.
I don't believe so. What brings you to Spetacazr?
We've come with Atlantrix, but we could really do with some food. I'll trade you
You're her guard.
a guard. Me?
No.
Have you looked at this guy?
Are
You
you
thought I was the guard?
You're here to join with the Augurs?
The sword, he just leans the sword, it's on his back, he just leans it a little bit, and it just glints. It's just
Get that
Even
really
though
clean
it's no
gleam up the
big
blade.
old
All
sword.
up the blade.
Are you a fair knight?
he takes his neckerchief off. Yes? You've heard of us?
I did not realise you were anywhere other than Equa.
Yeah, it's a pretty big story, but they let me out for a really important mission, so that's why I'm here.
And your mission is ours, our mission.
Yeah, kind of, maybe. I'm with this guy. he points towards him. He's going to stand up on his back legs now in his more humanoid stance because this guy is clearly friendly.
Yeah.
In an intimidating fashion.
No, he's always kind of moving his weight around because he's got this big sword and he's just kind of leaning and trying to keep it over one shoulder. Yeah, we've come a long way with the little gnome, and yeah, we're following Atlantrix. She's got some books to show us, some study to do. We've heard there's a great library here.
Yeah.
I'm happy that you have joined us. I'm pleased to welcome you to Spetacazr. I understand there's difficulty getting in here. Were you okay to get through?
Just about. Why is this curtain being erected around Spetacazr? I didn't think that the work of the Augurs had anything to do with the elven government. I assumed was running this curtain.
Well, I'm not sure if it's the Augurs specifically they're restricting. They may be. It seems more they're restricting movement across Asher at the moment. But you don't want to hear about this. We must get you some food. If you head to the long building over there, the one with the without the brasswork on the front, and he just gestures, and you can see him pointing 100 feet away to a long, narrow building. Looks simpler than many of the other more lavish brass buildings. That is our store.
Could you point out what is this building with the brass door? Do you mind just running us through just the general
Of course.
the general lay of this?
Of course. So.
Spetacazr, please. This is Spetacazr, right? We've assumed that this is Spetacazr. This is Spetacazr?
Yes, it
Great.
is. There's
Worried
only
though-
one now.
I was worried there was going to be an even bigger one somewhere.
No, is this not big enough for you?
I can't answer that question right now.
They say it's 1,000 miles. Is it actually 1,000 miles all the way up?
It is 1,000 mile now.
Has anyone ever measured it?
Well,
A
you just
question.
need
A
to see with
question.
your eyes.
With the idea of the 1,000 mile, is that how far the sound of it carries, rather than the physical size of it?
The sound carries almost all the way across Asher, as I understand.
What's that, about 1,000 miles?
Give or take.
If we were to measure it, and it were to turn out to be a 999 mile bird, how would you feel about that, Foy?
I'd give it to him.
Yeah,
I guess
I think you can round up in situations like that.
the size is it's impressive.
Size doesn't
You only
matter.
have to see it with your own
Apparently.
eyes to
Can we see the
realise.
end of this bell?
No.
Can you see the top of it?
No,
I see.
specifically
I see where you're going.
Nearly.
I guess the only bell over a mile is pretty impressive.
Of course. So to the building in the centre there, and he points towards what you would deem to be approximating the very centre of the bell location on the ground, is this perfectly half sphere brass dome with no other feet. It's just as perfectly spherical or half spherical. That is the control, the Nell control, where it is where this happens.
Do they do demonstrations?
Well, probably not.
What is the punishment? If one was to hypothetically just have a go, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. What would happen if you went in there
Well,
and just pulled a lever?
Okay.
What would happen?
Well,
Guards!
where were you? What's your name? Sorry.
Zolan.
Zolan.
Zolan, yes.
But,
Have I heard that?
but is that your last name or your...
Well, I've got a lot of names.
Where were you when the first chime rang?
I was in bed.
And which town had you come from? From Equa?
Oh no, I don't go to Equa. Those horrible people. I was in the southern human lands. Can't remember what they were. They've got all names that sound the same, all their villages. One of those standard places.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. There. And what did you feel the effects of the bell?
Yeah, it kept me up. I don't know you lot for 10 days. Ding dong! 10 days! That was the worst part.
10 days.
10.
You were in a toxin.
I was close to it. Oh, yes. Close to one.
Oh, which toxin did you come from?
Damn it. I'll avoid talking to these people at all costs. I was in, Wick, sorry, yes. Wick.
God, to the south.
To the south, yeah. yeah.
Atlantrix was there as well. That makes
That's
sense.
right, yeah.
That makes sense.
10 days. Did you have to do it for 10 days?
Well, yes. It's important. I'm sure you follow that.
I did hear, yeah.
So, I guess to answer your question, there would be quite a lot of trouble if one were to ring the bell. So,
Okay.
probably best not to.
It's gonna happen, isn't it?
Fi, were you
We can talk
always
about that, I think.
were you always an auger? What was your life like before
No.
all of the white dresses?
Well,
I'll give you a high five for that.
I was in a small town underneath Fulos and Hermus to the northeast of
Moria loves Hermus.
Equa. The Sky Cities, you know?
No, I do
The
not
Sky
know.
Cities?
You what?
Fulos and Hermus.
What do you mean the Sky Cities?
Near Equa, to the northeast, there are two Sky Cities, Fulos and Hermus.
Can you explain to me what a Sky City is? Do I know what a Sky City is?
The Sky City, so if you give me, again, a history roll.
Anybody want to...
Can I aid him?
Yeah,
in
sure.
Oh,
that?
please, let's go. I got a 7 plus 3.
I got a 9 plus something.
I got a 10 then.
Was it history? -1. It's an
So
8.
it's a 10.
Maybe rings a bell somewhere down the
Rings
line.
a
Rings
bell.
a
No.
bell.
Are we talking
Somebody
like
was gonna do
potentially
it.
Baal? Would that be classed as the Sky City? Or are we talking about
No,
like...
Baal is the mountain, isn't
Yeah.
it? No, Fulos and Hermus are cities in the sky.
floating cities?
Yes.
What?
Yes, I'm not from there. I lived in a town underneath.
So you're used to living underneath tall things.
Sounds like a very big sky engine.
Yes.
Star engine.
But
Do you think that's what attracted you to coming and stay here? Because you're used to something above you and it just made sense, felt like home?
well, I heard the stories. I met the Orcas. They came and told me their stories, and they showed me their texts.
Did they come to your door and they were like, hey, oh?
Well, I felt like
Here's a pamphlet,
Yeah.
and we come in.
no, I felt they were on the streets talking and explaining, and people were throwing things at them and calling them insane, and I've always been called slightly. I don't know. I related to what they were saying, and I like to read, and I don't know. I
So
learned
what-
more and more, and
What's your role here?
I'm an augur.
Do you have a specific task assigned to you? Do you
Well, we nearly
bell
all,
polisher?
nearly all of the augurs have the same task: to study the cow, at the study of cow, and he looks across, points to the left, and you see a larger building, which has. One moment, please. Which has a probably the next largest bell after the main knell, the great knell itself, which supports a broad building, which seems to have some kind of a small tower jutting out the rear left of the building. So it's got a vast ground floor, and then a small, maybe 2-story tower in the rear left of it. So that is the study of the augur's study of cow. That is where we're all charged with doing, with learning and understanding what the cowl is.
Have you learned anything, Fi?
Have I?
Have you learned anything? Yeah.
Personally, probably less than I would have liked, but as a collective, yes, quite a lot.
Who is the most learned individual in this?
The marrow.
Oh, not the Marrow White. I think he probably goes white.
No,
I
marrow
thought
white
of the Marrow
is
White.
wick. No, every toxin has a marrow, and Spetacazr has the
Yeah.
great marrow.
How great. Is she bigger than the Marrow White? Because she was a big lady. Most intimidating.
Her size is normal, but
Oh.
she is a big
alright.
character. She leads all of the augurs.
Okay.
How can we harness the shared understanding of all augurs? Because you're all kind of learning individually. How can we learn the collective knowledge?
Are you thinking some kind of like peace pipe or?
Shisha.
Yeah. What are you thinking, Druid?
Through study. The study of cowl is where we all aim to end up. I think when we start our journey, probably you as well, if you are seeking to learn.
Felix has memories back to like trying to read books, and he's just like, he just yawns. And when dogs yawn, they just don't, like they're dealing with emotions they don't like. And then he's just like picture books, and he's like, yeah, it's pretty good. And he's like, the idea of study is just, ugh, to him.
Over here, as he looks around, he's still sort of showing you the different areas. Can you see? And he walks with you a little way across this cool dark area, and this whistling still taking place. The sand still in your eyes, not quite as bad in the centre as around the outside. The more into the middle you get, it seems like the bugs are very much circling the outside, not the middle. There's a glass building, looks something like a greenhouse, but it backs onto a brick building as well. There's a doorway clearly between this brick building and the greenhouse. This is the insectarium, the Mutlace insectarium. Have you heard of Mutlace?
No.
Not sure.
So, and as you
Is that what these things are that are buzzing round? Is that what they're called? Mute laces?
No, these are just simple sand bugs. But in here, and as you look into the greenhouse of sorts, there's a few other augurs, 3 other elves, and they're actually not dressed as augurs in quite the same way. They're still wearing white, but it's not robes and scholarly attire. It's more workman-like attire in here. There's men and women. And there are a huge number of insects flying within this insectarium. It's relatively confined on the grand scale of things, but it's filled with these insects, and you can just every now and again make out these elves and workers within there doing something. They're harvesting the lace from the lace wings, which are these bugs. They
Like a silk?
Yes. And as you sort of peer in, you realise there's almost like these bobbins, these natural areas where silk seems to be being gathered, whether that's the elves doing it, whether it's the insects themselves. But there's these areas of dense, like a silk, forming around these large bobbins, and there's 5, 6, 7 of them around within this area.
Is it white?
It is white.
What are the working conditions of these bugs?
Bug ridden. They look to be. So you can give me an insight roll if you want to work out.
I want to work out how happy these bugs
Sure.
are.
Yeah.
Can do.
How happy the bugs are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can Felix do an insight roll to?
Well, give me an animal.
Yeah.
Because a nature check then in that case.
Ooh, it's an 8.
An 8. Bugs are harder to tell. Not completely. It's dense, but you're not completely sure.
But they fly by with a thumbs up now. He just wants to work out whether the silk that the bugs are spinning is the same material as the robes, the white robes.
Sure thing. So again, if you can give me, we'll go for a nature check on that one as well.
14 plus minus 1, 13.
13.
Keep forgetting he's not a smart one.
Yeah, quite tricky to tell. Not could be, not completely sure.
Yeah. He'll ask 5.
Yes.
5. Is this the material that your robes are made from? What do you use it for? Do you use it for making books, or what do you?
Oh no! You couldn't make clothes out of it. No.
No?
It's too delicate.
It's like a food?
It's almost like a parchment. Even soft, even more delicate. If you were to touch it with your finger, it would perforate.
So what do you use it for?
For the bell, for the knell,
Oof.
for the. It's soundproof.
I was halfway for it's the finest toilet paper in the land. Knowing you, Jack.
It's
where they get all their money from.
Soundproof.
If woven correctly by expert handlers, weavers, it forms soundproof lace.
Do you need this for if you chime the great knell?
Yes.
So we can't. I mean, we shouldn't chime it at random periods. What would
No.
happen? What would happen if you was underneath?
More than once now. And I'm just to reassure, just to make it completely clear, there'll be no ringing of the great knell until the next chime.
When is that?
Well, that's what we're searching.
Is there a
for.
competition I can enter to win a chance to ring the knell?
Yes, 100%. If you find the next chime.
Oh, what do you mean find? Who found the
I'm
first
very
chime?
confused. I thought the bell ringing was the chime.
Yeah.
The chiming of the bell.
Well, the chime, I guess, has dual meaning. There are 4 chimes. Elantrix has spoken.
She has spoken about this, yeah.
The 4 chimes that we're looking for, and every time one of the chimes is discovered, we chime the great knell.
But who
So-
discovers it?
Yes. Who do you know who discovered this chime?
Well, you were in the human area at
Yes.
the time, or near the human area in Wick, and I believe, well, I know the first chime took place in the human region. You must have seen the
How do people
explosion.
know that the chime has been found or discovered?
Well, that's what we're studying and seeking to learn, but we deemed the ending of the madness and the events and the explosion in the human region, or the halfling region even, we deemed that to be the first chime.
And what would be deemed the second chime? What are you looking for?
I suppose something similar for the other chimes. So the chime of the mind, or the chime of madness, some people say, was the first chime. We're seeking the chime of arcana, we're seeking the chime of the elements, and we're seeking the chime of life. So we're trying to figure that out. Our best guess is that something similar will happen.
I'm going to level with you, fine. I was going to wait a little while. It's going to come out in a moment because Elantric's going to tell everybody. Kaboom! 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 We were there when Void was destroyed. If anybody discovered the chime, it's frickin' us, and I'm ringing that bell. If someone has stole our thunder, someone has first discovered the chime, bam, bam, bam. We discovered the chime.
He just puts his hand. Of course!
You're gonna be
I can't
arrested
believe
by
I
a
didn't
load of
see
religious fanatics.
the wood elf,
Concentrate.
the gnome,
The chime.
human, the blue man.
I wasn't there.
The blue man didn't make it.
Yeah.
And the human as well.
With a halfling elf.
I'm in awe. I'm so honoured to meet you three and four.
I think that means you can ring it.
I'm not going to lie, I was going to try and bribe you with this information. But I am going to bribe you. But there's someone here has stolen our thunder. We should have been able to chime
Can he
this.
ring one of the smaller ones?
They don't ring.
They don't have any knockers.
Any clappers?
Clappers.
Clap. Any dongs? You got any
They
got any
have no
dongs?
knockers. No, they're
So many jokes queuing up to be said.
I'm so honoured to meet you. I have so many questions, and as
Yeah.
will Amaru, but I am not the right person to ask these questions.
I'll
yet.
answer this when our God-given right of ringing this bell for discovering the endless of the. We brought about the supposed endless of this madness.
Where can we find the Great
He
Maru?
used to be so humble, didn't he?
The great
He wants to
Maru.
ring the great
Uh,
big
The
bell.
study of the cow?
She
maybe?
could be
What are you
there.
gonna do?
She
Hit it
could
with your
be,
little hammer?
I want to pull the levers. I want to get in there. I'm
The
rip-rolling.
Star Servitory.
This is the what?
The Star Servitory. So again, he looks across to into the distance, just over another couple of buildings. There seems to be 3 buildings which are connected by walkways, but these are raised walkways. There's 3 individual kind of a squarish building, and then 2 rounded buildings. Reasonably large, slightly smaller perhaps individually than the study. But yeah, they're connected and they're tall enough. There's certainly something impressive about them in their construction. She could be in the Star Servitory.
A Star Servitory.
Yes, that. Well, it's hard to explain, really. You'll have to go and see it yourself.
We will.
I think we'll go and see the boss.
Do you have any general stores in Spetacazr?
Yes. The store. And again, she points towards the long
Yeah.
building. That she.
I suppose there's an inn, is there?
Alas, no. We have bedding. We have accommodation within the Star Servitory. Within.
We can sleep in that. Sounds great.
Yeah, that we can. For you. Then. Of course, you'd be honoured. You'd be our guests.
Do you even ring the bell?
Even for. You don't understand. I've been waiting my whole life, at least the last 5 or 10 years, for a moment like this. This is why we study.
I don't know if you grew up near some flying cities. That's a pretty big deal. Yeah. All these guys do is murder a god.
Yeah. And you have to understand.
It was self-defense.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not really murder.
I have so many questions, but
14 combat.
I'm not the right person. It would be. The Maru needs to hear this before.
We'll see the Marrow in a moment. I'm going to go to the general store. I'm going to huddle around a moment. I'm going to get everybody in.
Bring it in.
Not
bring it
5. Bring it in. We're freaking rock stars here. In all honesty, we can get a lot of free stuff. We need to spread the word about ourselves before everybody else knows.
For
Do with something
personal
to eat.
gain, or why do you want?
Yeah. Yeah, for
Just
personal
could
gain.
do with something to eat, to be honest.
Yeah.
Have we got any money on us? Have we?
Malcolm, you are filthy rich.
Am I?
Yeah, you've just got loads of gold rings from the dead. You've just got chains on chains on chains on chains.
So Thornit has a bunch of jewels and stuff that we stole from that cabinet.
See,
Badger Thorny just thought, fuck it.
Nobody ever goes on about that.
That is
Right.
true.
And how much stolen stuff have you got in that bag of yours?
I've got.
The bag itself.
The bag itself is nicked.
Oh, that is true. Actually, yeah. And it is
Everybody
highly-
goes on. I
it is
take
highly
one
valuable.
ring off of one because
Yeah.
That rules
it
all
looks
other
like
crimes,
it might be useful.
Felix is going to start wandering towards the study of the cow while they
I am actually penniless.
arguing on each
I
other.
am actually penniless. I own no currencies.
I think I am as well because we left.
I did steal from you.
You took all the money that we had to.
I'm going this way.
He's off. Quick, follow that dog.
I reckon we follow
Yeah, follow the dog.
while
Yeah.
still arguing.
Still arguing, yeah, all the way, poking each other in the side of the head.
I don't really care about money. I just kill things and take the stuff.
So, so you're heading in that direction. You're all following Clary.
Clary.
Clara?
All
Felix.
following Felix.
There you are.
All following Felix.
You've been disguised as a dog.
Yeah,
haven't you?
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So far,
Thank you, Fi. Thank you very much for your help,
Thank
and we'll no doubt see you later.
if you're interested in the Nell and Humop's the man you want to see, he just sort of calls after you.
Humop.
Yeah, he's in there.
Right.
That's the brass building in the centre.
Okay.
Who mop?
Who mop? You mop.
We
Okay.
all mop together.
Hey.
At this point, we can take a short break. Okay. For
2 minutes? 1 minute, 40
We're
seconds.
going to do six. It's going to be a 6 minute break.
Sounds
6 minute
good.
break.
Some minutes.
Thank you very much, everyone. We will return in 6 minutes. See you shortly. Thank you very much.
Doodles.
Oh.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
I did say I wasn't ready.
I apologise. Do you want me to
Dave
go back?
Mason is.
Mm.
That was 2 natural 20s.
Okay.
And a 14.
I'm ready.
Say that'd be 20.
I literally just rolled 4 of them in 5 dice, so yeah, they're gone.
We should do a session where you have to roll all your 20s at the beginning, and then you have to use them as you go.
You claim them back.
Ooh,
when
yeah,
you want
spare
them.
20s.
I like that.
Underneath the shadow of a smaller but still immense bell, itself broader than the building that it's suspended above. Polished brass struts support the dark brown brickwork of the augurs of Nell's study of cow.
You know what, Stu?
Yeah. I'm just trying to drop my can into my bag and it's just bounced off and just rolled under your foot.
Oh yeah, I can see it right.
There's now a big.
I've got it.
Luckily, I don't open it.
It's made all the way through. It's empty.
There
It's
you go.
empty.
Yeah.
I was trying to put it
It
in
is
my mouth.
now.
Yeah.
There we go.
A small tower in the rear left corner of the building juts out above the otherwise arched roof. Great wooden double doors form the main entrance. The building is otherwise simple, lacking ornate decoration that one might expect from a building of this grandeur. You find yourself at the door of this building.
This is the study of the bow. Oh, the
Study
cow.
is, there's a sign on the front
Yeah.
written in Elvish, which says the Augurs of Nell's study of cowl.
Bang, bang, bang. Knock on the door.
Nice one, Mark.
There is no answer.
Have you tried to open it?
I was.
It's probably a
Not to
bit
knock
too tall
first.
for me.
Let's go.
No reply? Do it?
We can talk ourselves out of pretty much any
Yeah.
explanation in this
It's
place.
out
Straight
of-
to scale.
yeah,
and
whatever.
The moment anything gets awkward, just be like, "Oh, we killed the void,"
Yeah.
and they'll be fine.
Boom.
I will try the handle.
Sure. Yeah, it opens a big ring, wrought iron sort of handle on a ring. You open it, and the door indeed will pull open.
What's the weight of this
Remember
door?
Big old door,
Big
yeah,
old
pretty
door.
heavy,
Big old.
pretty darn.
Could I shift it, do you think?
You probably could, but yeah, it would take most of your turn.
Need a nap afterwards. Cool.
You'll take damage.
Put them back out.
Can you just give me that passive perception? Please.
Passive.
14.
Okay, so Thorin, and anyone with a perception of 13 or higher.
13.
You
11.
immediately notice
12.
as you step inside. The first thing you greet by is a stairwell. So you're at the base of a stairwell. It doesn't look hugely long. There's maybe 10, 15 steps. Yellow stone steps which lead up.
Old steps.
They are.
You don't know.
I mean, you can investigate. by all
Stone
means.
cunning.
Well, I
You
should
can't
be
even
able.
see him. You got a perception of 12.
It's 10.
Yeah, they don't look brand new. That's about your read on it.
Okay.
Not brand new steps.
Not brand new.
Yeah.
IKEA's previous.
Got a bit of wear in them.
Yeah. But for those of you, yeah, Thorinir, you're the first one to notice. There is a trail of blood from the doorway, and this trail, is leading either in or out of the building and up the steps.
Can I tell if it's leading in or out?
So if you give me a survival roll.
Survival. Any tapestries on the wall? I'll be looking at the wall.
So,
Well, ooh, what a wonderful place.
No, nothing as soon as you go in. Bare wall, nothing
Yeah.
lavish about it. It's brickwork, brown brickwork, and then these stone steps leading up, yellow stone.
13.
13. It's. You're not sure. You thought for a moment it's leading one way, and then something wasn't. You nearly got what you needed.
I was looking just outside the door, just to.
Just outside the door.
Can
Yeah.
Felix support that? Try and get a better idea.
So go ahead. Yeah,
He's gonna
you can
jump.
as well.
Around and then be like, "Did you go backwards? Or did you go
Mhm.
forwards. What was it? A survival. 11. That's not as
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, so oh, yeah, definitely. There's a trail of blood which is leading either in or out of the building, and around. Yeah, certainly goes up the stairs and sort of around the corner a little bit.
I was looking for blood on the vertical to indicate going that way.
Blood on the vertical.
Yeah, that's what I was specifically looking for.
On the,
Blood on the vertical tread.
is there any blood on the door
Oh,
handle?
on the
I see.
steps.
On the steps.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I figure if it's on that, they're headed that way.
Sure.
But if that's in my role, that's in
Is
my
there
role.
any blood
just
on
can't
the
see it.
inside door handle?
Excuse me.
Oh,
so
yeah.
make an investigation roll.
Have we? Do you think we've seen the blood by now near Malcolm? Do you
Well,
think
if
we've?
you've-
I've been sat there rolling.
Oh, have
a
you?
while.
That is a natural 20. Blood on the inside door
It's a
handle.
door handle.
There is not blood on the inside of the door handle, but so you're looking at this. You're looking at this with the others. I think as you're looking so intently at the direction of the vertices of the of the steps, even though you can't tell which direction the blood is, it's in such a way that it looks like almost like a drag of blood rather than maybe like steps or anything similar. So it looks like blood has been in some fashion dragged.
Yeah. No foot marks. It's like a splush.
Is-
I think weapons.
Yeah,
chaps,
I'm going to
weapons.
just pull the old staff out. Ready?
And, oh,
Aw.
we're going straight into it.
What?
I think before it happens, we should lock this door behind us.
So we can't get out.
Yeah, that's... No,
What do you think's here?
I don't know, but I want an escape route just in case. We know
No.
nothing about this situation, and I'm not locking us in.
Don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid.
This
I'd just
situation
like
ain't
to
waiting
have
for
a-
this.
Yeah.
I'd just like to have a way out.
Mr. Malcolm, you got Felix phone now with you. You're gonna be fine. Do it, Jordan. Lock us in.
I'm gonna start pulling on the door. All of my might
To lock it.
to close it
To shut
first. Don't shut it
yeah.
first. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then,
so you can do it. It's just.
is there a lock? Is there a wooden?
There's,
You know.
there's like a latch, which as you turn this wrought iron handle, you can lift it up and it will relatch and shut.
No lock. We can't. Can I put a? We've got one of those
There,
big old logs.
so there is not there's not the equivalent. There's not an obvious way to lock this door.
No keyhole. Damn.
If I walked into a building and this music started happening, I would lock myself in.
I was going to lock it before the music happened, so I thought I'm going to carry on. I've made my decision pre-music. I'm sticking with it.
What's our order? Who wants to go first? I'm happy to go first.
Let's go and investigate the blood.
I'll go up with you. So, this stairway wide enough for the two of us to go up side by side?
It's fine.
Nice.
Is there just a stairway? We come through the door. We've just got a stairway.
Yep,
One
stairway.
going up,
dead
anything
ahead,
coming down?
About 10 to 15 steps, and it's
Straight up.
You can just about make out two little side rooms, one to the left, one to the right, and then something disappearing into the distance, but that's where your
Click
vision's
bottom.
come off.
On the way past, gonna put my finger in and just feel for any warmth in the blood.
You may.
Just to see potentially. Do I need to roll for that? All I'm looking for is the blood warm?
Is it fresh?
Is it fresh? That's all I'm
Yes,
after.
yep, so you can give me a medicine check.
Yeah, it's a 2+. It's gonna be like a 5.
It's pain.
No,
Yeah.
your fingers just have no sense of temperature.
I'm in awe today.
Some
Yeah,
unknown
that's
reason.
fine. Cool.
Nerves.
It's callous, it's very calloused hands. Nerve endings have gone. Yeah.
Let's do this.
That's where you snub your pipe out with your finger.
This is where I like. Oh yeah, that probably is. Yeah, I'm gonna like pipe actually. I
I'm
haven't
gonna put
piped
the
for a
staff
while.
back, and I'm going to take off the
Just
Kusurigama.
how I
Because
Yeah,
if
you
you
just
just
say-
say
if
if you
take
just
off
say
the
it
old
really
Akira.
quickly, it's just correct.
Kusurigama.
So the two of you are just in behind them, also in rank,
Yeah.
just directly behind them.
Sorry, how big is this this bottom room?
So you're immediately into a stairwell, just
Yeah,
straight
yeah.
away. Like the second you go through the door, there's a stair, and it's 10 foot wide, and it goes up 10 or 15
And it's just
steps.
a demon.
So there's nothing. There's nothing but demons above, and nothing below.
That's correct, yeah, and the steps are also demons.
Okay.
The steps are also.
This wouldn't surprise me.
Okay.
It's not a staircase, it's a mimic.
It's got my leg!
So you're ascending the stairs,
Let's do it.
cautiously, gallantly.
Cautiously.
With
Yeah.
gallantry.
I guess if you guys go forwards, I'm maybe signalling we should have our backs to them walking up.
Walk the stairs
Really
backwards.
cowardly.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
you're going back to back with them
Yeah.
and watching the
I
entrance.
trust Zolan to be cowardly.
Handsomely.
And you're doing the same as Thorin?
Oh, he's probably a bit overwhelmed, to be honest. He's just looking at the windows. If there's any windows on the spire up,
He's
then
Trying
I
to
can
get the feeling back in his
Like
fingers.
it's
still jump there.
It's quite dim, but there is natural light emerging from somewhere ahead of you.
Well, thank bollocks for that.
Let's go.
Okay.
Do this.
So heading forwards, you ascend the stairs. As you get to the top of the stairs, there's like a landing halfway between the two stairwells. So you go up the first 10 to 15 steps, and there's a very small 10 by 10 landing. And there's two little side rooms, one to the left, one to the right, that both have almost like the bottom half of a saloon door, or a stable door, I guess, rather than a saloon door, but like the bottom half of a stable door. And there's a little lectern behind either side of you. So to the left, little stable door, bottom half. To the right, little stable door, bottom half. A lectern on either one. On each of the lecterns, there's some kind of parchment, and there's some like a little ink pot with a quill in either one. Very evidently, the room on the right-hand side of you, there is an augur who appears to have expired.
Is that where the blood trail goes to?
So you can give me again a survival roll to see if you can work that out.
I'll help him on that.
20.
I won't bother.
Right. No, that is not. The blood trail appears to still be ascending the stairwell.
Is that the left-hand side or the right-hand side? Sorry.
To the right hand, as you're ascending the stairs, on the right hand side, there's a
Dead
dead
augur.
There's a dead augur. It looks to be either elven or human. We can't be completely
I
sure.
was about to ask what the nature of the injury was, but can we
Well,
include that in that roll?
Rolled? Yeah, how did they die?
Yeah.
So that was specifically looking at the blood trail. So
Okay.
give me a medicine roll on
Well,
that.
I rolled a 20. Could you explain to me, is this the same blood trail one would see if it was Sephiroth carrying the head of Genova?
No, it's not. It's a fainter blood trail at this point, especially this far up the stairs. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did they die?
So give me a medicine roll for that. Are you going in the room and opening the door and actually properly?
Well, I did a good roll, so yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
15 plus 0. 15.
Fine. So you can
Gotcha.
easily unlatch that door. It's not locked or anything.
I can burst you over his
Walk
jaw.
in. Tiny little room. It's like 7 by 7 foot room. It's like looks like a little reception room or something of that nature. The augur is slumped behind one of the pedestals. There is a pool of blood staining that white robe that he's wearing red, and there he's lying in a pool of blood as well. Very evident, very quickly, there's been some kind of puncture wound through the heart.
Like sword, not. It's not like an animal. Rapier?
What was your roll?
15.
Any bats?
15. It's your guess would be that it was a sword rather than an animal.
Cool. It looks like a
No
sword
bats.
strike.
Might have been swordfish.
Cool.
Or some kind of swordfish.
And the guy is dead. Can I just go in and just actually check he's dead?
Yeah.
I know he
won't
looks
make
dead.
you roll.
I know he
He's
looks
dead.
dead, but-
Yeah, he's dead.
You woke me up, what are you
You
doing?
imagine if we just like, oh, he's half dead.
All this costume blood.
You see what happened to my
This
swordfish?
is a game we play. Cool, so this is bad.
Yes,
Yes.
very bad. Anything in the other opposite room?
So as you open the door into the other room, the only item in that whole room, completely bare, stone walls, brickwork, brown walls, is this lectern in the centre, and then there's parchment and a quill
Anything written on the parchment?
There is, yeah.
Have a quick look.
Yeah, it looks like a list of some nature. You read Elvish,
Yes.
and it's a list of people's names, and it's a list of what looks to be. It's a register, basically. It looks like a register or a guest.
Is Elantrix's name on there?
Something in there. So you pile over the
That's a
first
great question.
part of the scroll. You cannot see Elantrix's name.
What's written on yours?
What?
You
What's
don't do
written on my-
you don't do reading
What's
very
written
well,
on my
do you?
what?
On the, there's another there's a sheet of parchment in the yeah. Can you read what's on there?
Barely reach.
I think Zolan would have kept exploring. Wouldn't have time to read shopping lists. I would have kept just looking. Not going in, but
He's
I
not
wouldn't
being
have
formal,
I
but
wouldn't
then
have
Felix
stayed.
is just going
to
to knock
read,
down
yeah.
the lectern with a sword.
I'll-
and pick
I'll-
up a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Fine. So similar thing. There's a list of names written in Elvish, with the quill next to it.
Again, I'm going to look for Atlantrix or not.
Certainly,
Just quickly.
Yeah, on the first, so there's a reel of parchment that's quite long, but your first piece of A4, as it were, doesn't have her name on
Right. Okay.
Is there any other rooms? Is this it?
Oh, your
Just
way
up
is
the
up the
stairway.
stairs.
it. One
There is. We do keep going up. Okay,
one
cool.
name on this one that does stand. The only name, none of these names mean anything to you.
Yeah.
The only name that jumps out at you is Maru.
Okay. Okay. Onwards and upwards.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Up the stairs. Cautiously, but with dramatic intent.
Big ass sword first.
Yeah, fine. So similar, looks like exactly the same number of stairs again up this landing. And as you go up, ascend these stairs, it opens out to a 25-foot square room. Again, stone floors. And then there's another narrower staircase, 5 foot wide, at the far end of it, which ascends. There's also 6 doors all the way around this room. 3 on the left side, 2 to your left, 2 to your right, and then 1 up the far end of the wall. But between the 2 of those doors is a stairwell up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. There are 12 slender stone columns around the perimeter of the room which support the 10-foot high ceiling. And additionally, there are 4 small raised beds of shrubs and flowers, one of which looks familiar to the 3 of you, maybe not you, Felix.
By familiar, are we talking that can't remember what that glass building we found in that crazy city
with the
full of
with
flowers?
the-
Was it
The brightly coloured flowers. in it.
Dathgar Crag? Yeah, and it was anything to do with that? Or was
There,
this like Holmes? Some of
if you want to give me a nature roll, if you're having a look,
I mean, I wouldn't be going. Oh, I recognise these flowers and trying to look
sure.
through.
Well, then don't.
Yeah, I would.
Thorin definitely.
Do you think I would just?
Okay.
He'd be
So,
like,
yeah. If you like,
flowers. I remember these. They're probably dangerous.
if you'd like to give me a nature roll,
It is a 4.
think you've seen the 4, no idea where. They are, to describe them for you, they are 10. There are 10 almost gleaming yellow flowers. They almost seem to be emitting light, but you don't think they are. They're that bright, and they're kind of in a tear shape or like a flame shape. Stood to attention, completely vertical.
These weren't the ones that give Zolan a sharp attack at Holmes' place. That's all he'd be thinking. You know that time that me and Clara went off. We touched some of
You had tummy trouble.
Yeah, what was his name? Holman Tomty. Who was the big guy that used to done the gardening?
So as you start to think about them,
Yeah.
and think about God's Garden, you have seen these flowers before in God's Garden.
Oh, they're the ones that give me the shits.
Yeah. Now is not the time. Where's the blood trail there?
Yeah, I was just going to wait.
We're going to have more than a blood trail in a minute if we touch these.
If you give me a survival roll.
Oh, it's cocked. That was weird. 10.
I'll give you a hand on that. Well, that's 11.
11. You've lost it at this point. So either it doesn't go any further, or the blood
It's blood
persisted.
everywhere.
But
So
you
much
you just can't see it. It gets to the top of the stairs, and then you just lost it completely.
Falls red upstairs.
Yes.
Red card. Yeah. This is an ambush if I was going to set one up.
Yeah.
Who's going to ambush us?
I don't know.
think-
Who's going to kill someone
Who's-
here?
But I
There's a
asked,
dead body downstairs, Jordan. Didn't you see it?
yeah, but I can't see an ambush. I can't see anybody ambushing here. To be able to, somebody to come in and set an ambush up, murder people. Who are they ambushing? Do they know we're here? Like, I don't know. It seems a bit too.
This is happening right now.
I know it's happening, but I don't think it's an
Door?
ambush. I'm going to open a door.
Which so you've got 6 doors around you, 3 on the
The
left.
decision is being
So
made
2
for.
on the left wall, 2 on the right wall.
We'll take any.
2 on the far wall, and then but they're split by a stairway up.
I would suggest we all open doors as soon as possible. I'm going to open and look. Not investigating. I'm going to
Pick a door,
open.
which
Is it
one?
the first one? First one on my right.
On your right.
Okay,
Open and
I'll
look.
go first on my left.
Yeah.
So the first one on the right. So you've got these columns. So you kind of where you are, you've got these columns, and then the doors sort of behind.
Yeah.
So the columns are sort of between the shrubs and the doors. And you're opening the first one on the left at the same time.
Yeah, and I'm going to be a little cautious about it though. I'm not going to just open the door and stand in the doorway. I'm going to push it, stand against the wall, unlatch it, and push it open like that.
No problem. So you give it a try. It doesn't move at all. There's also not a door handle. There is a groove. They're obviously doors. There's a groove of sorts. Not a hollow groove. You can't see through the other side, but there's some kind of a groove for you to hold. But there's no door handle, and it doesn't move an inch when you touch it.
My door doesn't move either. I'll move to the next door.
Certainly, yeah. Same experience.
And the final one on my side.
Sure. And same one more time.
And the one, yeah,
Cool.
so I'll do the same. Investigate them all on the way down.
Yeah, exactly the same. None of those doors are
I'm going to do the
budging.
same. But I'm going to listen.
Okay, which door are you at?
I guess I'm at the first one on the left.
First one on the left. So if you give me a perception roll.
Nice.
It's 25.
25.
You can hear the footsteps on the top floor. Who's up there?
You can hear the bats and the bell.
Your perception roll. Okay, so you can't hear anything, and there's a lot of stone around. But with the roll that high, just the faintest whiff of smoke.
In my ears.
You
hear
can't
smoke.
quite detect the direction, but you know, yeah, you can smell smoke.
Right.
I
So
will relay that. Like,
having investigated
Smells like
all the
fire
doors on the
of
left,
some kind.
I'm now at the foot of the stairs.
The next
Yeah,
stairwell.
yeah. I've gone through door, and down. So I'm now at the far end of the room.
Because it's a 5-foot stairwell, yeah, it's tight. So Felix will come up behind her, I think.
Yeah. And then you two. Okay. So you ascend that stairwell together.
I was going to, on my last door, would have made a full investigation. Because I just tried the door, I would have actually investigated to how to open. I'd just push. The final one hasn't opened, I would have investigated if there actually is a way. You know, like do I have to determine
Yeah, no problem.
or
So
something?
give me-
Just
give me
that's what I would have been
investigation
doing.
roll.
18.
18. It's mechanical.
With the key, do I see anything? There's
There's a mechanism in that door in some regard.
but I can't see it from the
Can't
surface.
see- there's nothing. There's no control on that door
Okay, yeah.
for it, but there's definitely a mechanical door.
Eating the flower will help.
No, no. Don't think so.
Is there any flowers? Just out of interest, is there any flowers in one of the beds?
Now, all of the beds have flowers. I said there were 10, didn't I? So they're obviously not perfectly distributed because there's 4 beds. But yeah, there's these. Yeah, 10 of these flowers specifically spread across the beds.
Up the stairs?
There are other flowers as well, but they're the ones that are just you remember seeing
Yeah.
them in. Whole
Felix is going to pull at your trousers a little bit. It's best to go first, Malcolm.
Okay.
And Bastion little bases.
It's all right because I can throw this thing over your head. So
It's exactly what I was thinking.
okay.
So anything? You doing anything further, or are you going with them?
No, I would. Yeah, I would. I think I would make the assumption that only an augur would know how to get into these,
Okay.
and I would carry on.
No problem.
I'd hope it's not an augur killing augurs, so I would carry on.
No worries. Okay, so
APA.
AVA.
It's that kind of server.
Up to the top of the stairs. Cautiously.
as you ascend this room has natural light to it. You can look up. Much bigger room. Vastly bigger. We're talking, at first glance, maybe 100 foot wide, 100 foot deep. Just the main area. This looks like a big main room. And doors, multiple doors off to the left, multiple doors up to the right. A broad 20-foot wide staircase which goes up to another level which you can see. So it's not like it's not like a wall level. There's like a 20-foot up at the far end, a grander, broader staircase which goes up to another level, only 10 foot higher, with like a balcony of sorts, which is wide and extends even further than 100 foot
Looks
wide.
kind of like the sort of place that somebody would stand up on the top of to give speeches to a multitude.
Potentially, yeah, not a bad estimation. So doors off to the left, doors to the right, two big flower beds. Again, this time in the centre of the room. These are bigger flower beds. These are 10 foot by 30 foot flower beds, and they've got different colours. So they're not yellow. Those yellow flowers you saw before. Again, we've got familiar flowers here, but they're more peaceful. They're blues, indigos, purples, violets, and at the far at the far side, above that stairwell, above the stairwell and the balcony, you can see another set of double doors, very, very similar to the main entrance doors, which seem to be on almost another building within a building, with another completely walled area. It's like, picture we're in the keep, and there's another, more centralised building at the far end, which clearly leads off to the tower that we described earlier, the two towers on the left, to the rear left-hand side of that building.
Are the doors open?
Doors are not open. No. So you've got 3 doors to your left, 3 doors, 2 doors you can see to your right, and these big flower beds, and a few other bits and pieces. There are also at the far end of the garden area, the two long beds, at the far end and the near side, there are statues of different races at each end of these little gardens.
I'm assuming one's an Osai, one's a horned elf. One's
So
dwarf
as you
and
think,
one's
as you think that is exactly right.
Yeah.
There's a statue of an Osai, a 4-armed, tall people like Badur was in Midway. There's a statue of a dwarf. There's a statue of an elf. There's a statue of a horned elf. Stone statues, standing tall and clearly centerpieces within this grand chamber.
Does that dwarf by any chance have a satchel? Remember the last dwarf we seen in Daft got a satchel. Does this guy have a satchel?
So by all means, you can go and investigate that. And it doesn't have a satchel. If you look up to the sky, you realise that the natural light is coming from a skylight of sorts. That it's not open air. There's just a nice big skylight which is letting the sunlight into this room.
Any sign of blood trails?
Oh, yeah.
So again, you can give me a survival roll with disadvantage because you lost it.
12.
12.
Is that 20 on your second?
No. No.
Do these doors here look the same as the doors on the previous level?
The doors to the left and right, yes, whereas the door on that next raised level looks like the main entrance.
I think the side that I was on, if I could just try 3 of the doors, just to push them,
Of course,
or to pull them,
yeah.
but that would be as far
Slide
as I would
them
go.
more.
I would just push, but maybe
Yeah,
the slide.
so they look exactly the same. Same experience.
They do not budge.
There's nothing moving.
Open.
They do not open. Good idea though.
Let's keep going.
I guess. Yeah.
Just catch up with this crim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be somebody. Sooner or later, we're going to bump into somebody, aren't we? Or we're going to reach the end.
Flowers,
See?
smoke, blood, stairs.
Statues.
What does all this mean?
So you're walking past the flower beds, past the statues. To the right hand side, as you do so, you notice there's a very small pool. It's only 10 foot by 5 foot, just almost like a little ornate pond of sorts. There's also some other columns supporting the building generally, whether they're actually load bearing or just ornate, you're not sure. And there's another small door, so it turns out there's actually a third door on the right hand side, just to there's a jutting out room to the right, and then there's a smaller room just behind it, which was obscured as you came upstairs, and now you can see it, now you've walked further forward. So it looks like 3 doors to the right, 3 doors to the left. But they're not flush, it's not like one flush wall. All these doors seem to be going to somewhere that a bit jaggedy, you know, it's not just straight lines either side. Okay. So continue on.
Can I just stop and investigate this pool?
Of course. What are you looking
How deep is it?
for? It's
How deep is it?
not particularly deep, it's about 5 foot.
Well, depends who's in it.
Yeah.
There is
It's an Olympic size gnomish ball.
There is an auger in the pool, dead. And they're at the bottom. They've sunk rather than floated.
That's gross.
Right. Excellent. Carry on then.
Okay. So carrying.
Let's pick up the pace, I think.
Up the stairs.
Let's pick up the
This
pace.
can only go well.
Yeah.
Run!
So as you get to the top
Mine's
of,
more it.
as you get to the top of the stairs, extremely evident there is thick black billowing smoke coming out from underneath that door.
Oh, goody, 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 goody.
There's just to explain this to you properly. This the room is almost a T shape. So you've had that main chamber with the side rooms either side, and then as you get up the stairs, it's longer than that main chamber was, east and west. So it's actually we're approaching 150 feet wide on this upper level, and it seems to disappear around corners as well. So you've got this main building, this balcony goes around the outside of this building. All right.
She's home.
There is way too many nasty places that things could be hiding in this place.
Balconies, we've got bellowing doors.
Yeah. You probably, a couple of you got a little cough as the smoke is thick and it's really black. This is weirdly black smoke.
What kind of level are the balconies? Are the balconies on level with the doors?
So the balcony. So you've ascended that 20-foot
yeah.
wide
Gone
stairs.
past the balcony, haven't
Yeah,
you?
you're sort of on this balcony now,
Yeah.
and it's only 10 foot deep, but it's 150 foot wide.
Yeah.
And these main central doors are there right in front of you, and then the balconies disappear around the corners of this building somewhere else.
Are they on the same plane? I'm thinking I don't want to go through a door that's on fire. If we was to
The
go around the
door is-
balconies, would that take us on the same latitude
Yeah, it looks-
as the room? So we could enter this room through a window or maybe something. That's what
It's
I'm
the
thinking.
same level, yeah. It doesn't
Cool.
look like there's a plane of
Yeah,
any
yeah,
kind
cool.
or an incline. Yeah.
So we could scout round and see if there's
Maybe get another way in the building, in that room, yeah.
Before we move, Felix is going to take one poor hand, lick it, and he's just going to touch the door really quick just to see if the door's too hot.
Sure, no problem. It is not.
Okay. We could go this way if we need to, but we should scout round.
Yeah. Okay. Picking up the pace. Gonna start heading round. I'll go clockwise, so I'm heading to the left
Let's do it.
at a jog.
Yeah, no problem. So jog, okay, so you're jogging around, everyone following Malkin?
Yeah.
Or going together? So jogging around to the left, there's more bigger columns up here as well, so it's not quite as straightforward as just a straight line. There's a little bit of weaving between columns that are, again, just splitting the middle of this balcony level. And as you go past these columns, about 60 or so feet, you have a right angle around the building, and you're greeted by a dead end, a slightly circular wall, and as you look up, you can see the tower go up around 2 floors, But you can only see part of this tower because it looks like some of the tower falls within the internal wall, and then some of the tower would be on the external wall because you saw it from the outside as well.
Looks like there's only one way to go.
Looks like it, doesn't it? Okay, back to the doors.
Should we do the doors?
We'll do the doors.
Can I poke my head around the other balcony and just see if it looks? I don't want to
So
run
go
the
to
whole
the
length.
right-hand side?
Just look, just see if it looks
Yeah,
to
of
be the
course.
same as the
Yeah.
left. Just double
So
check.
just to poke your head round
Yeah.
the right angle there, no problem. So as you look round, there is no tower that side. Same columns, etc., etc. But where there was a dead end on the other side, there's actually another door at the far end of that side.
Is a door leading into the room? So is it on the left-hand side?
So
Or?
it's straight ahead. So if you picture, you come up the main stairs, you've turned
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
and you get to the end, you've got a right angle left,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then at the far end of that corridor, about 40 feet in front of you, there is a door dead ahead.
I think we take the door. That
Okay.
black smoke is so
Yeah.
thick. We're not going to see
we'll try-
anything
yeah,
if we go
yeah,
through
yeah,
there.
Yeah,
Let's keep going.
Let's do it.
Yeah, no problem. So you go up to there, up to the end there, and it's the same style door that you've seen previously.
Damn it.
Bastard.
Okay.
Let's
I'm gonna.
hit it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try a bit of brute force.
No problem. Yeah.
So I'm gonna shoulder charge this door.
Okay.
It is mechanical, Malcolm. May hurt. My one made a weapon.
Yeah. So if you give me an athletics roll, please.
Oh dear, that's not great. 11. Athletics, that's 13.
Okay, so Malcolm runs full speed at this door, shoulder first. Oh, that's a dead arm. Yeah, that is it's a big impact. Doesn't move an inch.
Yeah.
And what's more, it doesn't even feel like it goes that way.
Yeah, that didn't work.
I think we're going to have to go through the smoke.
Should we just try? Should we just smash it? Can you just have a go? Swing and sword, just see what happens.
He looks at his sword, looks at the door, looks at the sword. He's like, I don't really want to blunt it, but he'll have a go.
I can give you the broad sword from the Jade Justiciary if you'd like to swing that first.
And we don't know how to power that thing up.
No, but it's still a sword. If you don't want to blunt yours.
No, it's fine. He's going to make an attack against the door.
Okay, no problem. What kind? Like just hit at any part of it particularly you're aiming for, or you just hit
The lock mechanism.
So the only
The dent
feature
bit. Yeah.
of any nature is this slight groove where a handle would often be.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
he's going to apply sword to it.
No problem. Yeah.
Do I need to roll an attack again?
Yes, please.
14 plus 6 is 20.
Okay. Well, you're certainly going to hit it.
Yeah.
And then make.
What do we roll that? 5 plus 5. 10 plus 3 is 13 damage. Oh!
So you take a big chunk, makes a mighty ringing sound. Probably gets you in the ear a little bit. And you take a big chunk out of this sort of handle area, make a great big dent in it. That is all.
Wasn't that 13 opening damage?
I mean, I could keep going, but
Yeah, didn't do a
It's gonna have to be the
grand
big door,
deal
isn't it?
then.
It looks like you'd have to be doing that for a while to get
Yeah.
through, even with a good roll.
yeah, let's go
in
for
the
it.
smoke room?
We're gonna have to go to the
Yeah,
smoke
let's
room.
go through the
do
smoke
we
room.
do we have water things on us?
Water skins.
Skins, water skins. Yeah, water skin. Nice. So I'm going to suggest that if you've got water skins, you have to wet your clothes, you have to cover your mouths,
Yeah.
you have to prepare to go through the smoke. Fortunately, I have this neckerchief. So yeah, Felix is going to wet his neckerchief and then up over his nose.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to pull the bottom of my
And we
hood
should
up
keep
over.
quite low.
Mm.
Yeah,
Even
although
then?
the smoke is seeping out under the
We should
door.
keep Zolan low.
Okay, so you go to the main door at the top of the stairwell.
Oh, yeah.
Big wooden double doors like on the main entrance, and someone trying the handle.
I'll try the handle.
Okay, so as you turn, exactly the same opening mechanism as on the front door, doesn't budge this time.
Oh, doesn't budge this time, eh?
It's not unnaturally. It's not unnaturally hot. It's
Does it have a keyhole?
No, it does not. It's the same The same experience as when you investigate the front door. It's just a handle. That's it.
Turn it, pull it.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening.
I'm taking it out. I am going to cast. What? Let me do. Skadoosh! Send you to the spirit plane. No, I am going to cast something which will.
Explode door.
It's not called Explode Door. I believe it is Tasha's Caustic Brew,
Okay.
I say.
which is a spell attack where I'll be dealing
Only works
2d4
on wood.
acid damage until the person actively tries to remove it. So if the door cannot remove the acid from itself, it will every 6 seconds take 2d4, and I will roll them.
And how long was that for? That's fair.
That is, I believe, it's at the start of it's at the start of your turn. It's constantly your turn unless somebody actively clears it from the person or themselves attempts to remove the brew from
run out
itself.
after a period of
I
time.
wasn't saying anything, no.
So we're,
Okay.
we're
Just as-
talking
just as-
alien blood
Covered
effect.
Covered in
here,
acid
aren't we?
takes 2d4 at the start of each of its turn. Yeah, and then to remove it,
Forever.
Should the door roll initiative?
yeah, you
Yeah,
need
do you want us to
to
roll
you
initiative?
need to
Make sure you got the
actively
door on the
remove
little
it.
That's fine. So if you apply
Do
this,
you want me to double check it? I'll
Yeah,
go
double
into
check it
the.
doesn't expire after a minute or
I will
two.
go into the.
but where are you applying it?
Well, I'm gonna just hit the whole door. The whole door.
Can you cover an area that large?
Whole door. I'm just looking at this one. I don't
You
know.
only
Don't
need,
okay.
you only need the
No,
lock
it
to
wouldn't,
get the
yeah.
lock mechanism.
Well, the hinges.
Oh, good to the hinges. Sorry, 2 seconds. Carry on. I'll be 30 seconds if you guys want to keep.
So it's applying acid to a door.
Yeah.
It doesn't instantly buckle.
Does he have a massive brush where he brushes it on?
No, he's got it's
Or like a squirt, it's like a spray.
Yeah, it's almost like a bellows. You know,
Oh,
not the
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of bellows. It kind of fills it up and it just juts out. It goes a long way. There's a lot of pressure behind it.
That's gross.
I can get that beast about 30 foot, I reckon, with a good squeeze. Bagpiper.
Sure you want to waste that on a door?
But what about the acid? That's awesome.
Okay. What else is happening in the meantime while Zolan's applying this acid? You just
Wetting.
slowly watch
Generally-
it eroding.
Wetting one's dog's
At a distance from this acid, so it doesn't burn my ear, can I listen to see what's on the other side?
Yeah, you can, absolutely. Yeah, give me a perception roll.
Oh, if it's fucking brownies, that's it. I'm just going to kill them.
It is 24.
24.
First tee-hee-hee is going to get...
I hate knowledge.
You think you hear, very faintly, somebody shouting from the other side of the door. Very faintly, and it doesn't sound close. It's like a very, very distant, only because you rolled so high, very, very distant noise.
And you can't tell if it's anger, despair, laughter.
There's distress to the shout.
Someone in there. But they sound far away.
1 minute.
Do you want me to just smash this door?
It'll be 1 minute.
1
There's-
minute.
One
there's
minute.
So
time
you've
to
got... So 1 minute, so you basically... If it's every 6 seconds, you have to roll a D... What? D4?
No, I don't have to. They have to. So it will just.
So you get 10 damages.
They will get potentially 8.
Surely you got advantage against the door.
Yeah.
Well, that's. I mean, I'll just
you're
keep
gonna
rolling.
get,
It will
you're
just
gonna
keep
be able
rolling
to,
damage.
it will corrode enough to be able to.
Do you think?
But what area does it cover?
Yeah. Well, I'll get if there was a handle or a lock, I would go for the handle. or the lock.
Okay.
The lock rather than the handle.
Yeah, so there isn't a lot. Yeah, well,
Yeah, it's all in. It's
you
all
got
in the same
handle,
point, isn't it?
You've got the gaps in the door, and then you've got the door attached. to the
What
frame.
about,
That
do
is
you
yours.
think it would do a big enough gap that we can just walk in?
I mean, you know, if you're going to melt the lock, we might need to pull the door open.
Kick it open. Be alright.
There's no time for this smoking.
Yeah.
It's just slowly
Melt the
eroding.
door.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
it's all-
handle sort of area.
just in that area. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming the handle's in with a lock. It's all going to be. Yeah, it's not.
Well, let's hope it opens inwards then.
Yeah. Yeah, my gut feeling
Yes.
is it's probably blocked on the other side.
Yeah,
It's
just
alright.
sort of corroding slowly. Just
The
corroding.
smoke coming out yet?
Oh yeah, the smoke billowing from underneath it, sort of suppressed just enough to come through, and then it's quickly, just clouding up in your faces.
Have we breached? Have we breached it yet? Is there a hole at which we can see through?
It's corroding slowly, corroding. We've still got a few more
For,
seconds
for a
before it's
minute,
gonna
basically.
go. Yeah.
Roll dice.
Okay. So at this point in time, for the first time, a little bit of the acid corrodes through the lock, and more of this smoke just plumes out towards you, gives you a blast right in the face and makes you cough and splutter. But it's corroding that handle area.
I'm gonna give the door a hefty kick.
Okay, no problem.
I'm not gonna risk another dead arm.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
wants
So
to
give me
go.
an athletics roll.
Wrong dice. Where's my other dice? No, it's still the wrong dice. Hang on. Where's my there it is. Oh, bollocks. That's a 1.
A 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Malcolm kicks it.
Shoot us into it.
And it, for whatever reason, takes a run up, bit off balance, and he kicks it, and then he loses balance and he falls down the stairs.
And he takes.
Yeah. So it's corroding more and more and more around this mechanism to the point where this smoke is pluming out. This is densely
Trudging back up the stairs,
smoking
looking
the
very,
inside. And
very
it's
pissed
black.
off.
It's black. So you've never seen smoke quite this
I don't
colour.
think we should even go in there, even if it.
We're going to do it. Felix is going to try and bash the door himself. He's going to use his classic Felix pole vault his sword and throw his little doggy body at the door.
Oh.
It's a serious force. Like a strong check.
Piss myself if you roll a 1.
Athletics check.
Oh, balls.
Nearly a 1.
It's a 9.
A 9.
Down the stairs.
Yeah, no, not down the stairs,
It's
but
the
not through. It's still
Yeah.
kind of corroding.
Oh!
But yeah,
It's
not
door.
quite- It's a big old heavy. This is a massive, great door,
Getting sick of this.
This just feels like
Yeah.
the ditch all over again.
and it's just pluming out now. This smoke, it's starting to just slightly. You can see it in the air in this main room now. There's so much of it coming out.
Zolan's going to charge. Because whenever Zolan needs to make a strength check, he sometimes makes it. It's the irony of Zolan.
This is so good.
Charge!
Malcolm has got back to the top of the stairs now, and
Well, that's cocked. Isn't it?
I don't know.
That was a cock.
I mean,
blow.
I would.
That is cocked.
I
I would have.
think-
I would have accepted it.
If
A
it's cocked,
packet
it's
of
done.
salted cashew nuts and a microphone wire.
That was my athletics. Not very good. Oh, open. That is not the incorrect pin, you piece of shit. Sorry. Athletics. Oh, it's 11. It's a -1.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar experience. So you sort of ram into they're all ramming into it over and over again. Yeah.
This is a druid craft.
Uh-huh.
This is a puff of wind through the hole.
Ooh.
Mainly to push the smoke and see if I can see anything. I'm not trying to get this.
I like it.
Cunning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be.
15. 16.
16.
Big one.
if this doesn't work, I'm going to give that door another kick.
I'm going to talk to it. Hey, door.
It's like labyrinth.
You,
Face appears.
for a brief moment, think you can make out a statue that looks not dissimilar to the ones you saw down below. That's what you
Same
see.
room in there.
Right, another kick.
No, hang on, wait a second. Does that mean... Do the statues open the door? Is it like a mechanism?
It's corroding enough that you could probably get, you couldn't fit through, but you
Yeah.
can at least get like a head through or something.
What,
you
an
know, at this point.
acidy head?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can stick my head through an acid hole. Uh-huh.
Who's
Yeah.
got the
I'm going to
smallest
give the
head?
door another kick.
Oh no.
Oh, that's better. 16. Athletics, wasn't it?
Yeah.
60 plus so it's 18 this time.
18. It holds pretty firm. You realise as
Opens
you're
outwards.
running up to it, this too is a mechanical door rather than, even though it has an appearance very similar to the main door, it doesn't seem to be buckling in the same way.
Felix is going to look through the hole and see what orientation the statues are in.
No problem. So
I'm pretty sure it's like a mechanism.
I'm going to be puffing if he needs
Yeah.
the smoke cleared.
Thank you.
So the four statues are back to back, face right against each other,
Yeah.
all facing outward in almost like a star shape.
Yeah.
So yeah, sort of diagonally in each of those.
And if he
positions.
turns back to the statues in our room, are they in the same orientation?
They're not. No, they're quite different. So at either end of the long gardens, two of them are facing down towards the entrance. The other two are facing up towards the door.
You feeling brave, Felix?
But it's really hard. Like just to do that, you're coughing. You have to hold your breath.
He's
as
got
you're
his little
looking in.
neckerchief on,
Yeah.
looking through the smoke.
You going to be a hero? I can make you a hero. Do you want to be a hero?
Yes.
Right. I'm going into the backpack, and I'm going to just rummage through, find all of these vials,
Slowly.
and I'm
open the door.
pulling the vial out that looks like that mouthwash. You know, as the two alternating, as the pink band and the blue band. You will shake them together.
Oh.
Shake them together, and I'm going to give it to you to drink. Drink this. Drink this.
I'll go down in one.
Down in one.
No questions.
So that
Clove.
is. Oh, clove, minging.
It's arsenic.
No, it's not arsenic. That will be a spell of enlarge/reduce.
Whoa.
And you're going to get reduced from your medium form to your small form, and you're going through the hole.
Can he choose whether he gets enlarged or
No, I choose.
Okay. Because I was like, smash down door. Cool. Yeah.
It gives you barely anything
So
extra
what
to a
size
damage
is he,
roll. He will. If it was a medium, he reduces to a small. Your weapon will also transform
What?
so your broadsword will have shrunk to be proportional with your new size.
Fine.
So I'm hoping if a head could go through.
Yeah.
Now.
So you're now small enough to get through.
It's probably about 8 inches, to be honest. Probably 2 foot. Probably about a little 8 inch.
I'm comfortable with that.
Dog.
I'm comfortable with that. Yeah. So
Tiny Felix is amazing.
You've gone through. Let me just try and
are you
find
going
out.
through?
Yeah.
Go through.
So
Do you need a hand?
Yeah, I was going to say, alright, I'll pick him up and I'll put him through the hole.
is there anything
So-
you're trying to do particularly?
You have 1 minute.
Cool. He's looking for something to operate this mechanism.
Okay.
Oh,
So give me an investigation roll.
Okay.
I think you were
Should
right
roll
about those
in the bowl.
statues.
Investigation 11.
11. Okay. There, to the left-hand side of the door, as you're looking at it, back at the door, there is a mechanism
Yeah.
with gears on it, and there is a keyhole underneath with no key.
There's
Not
a lock on this side of the door.
Not that it matters because you're too small to reach it.
Yeah. I can't reach it, but I would need to be Zolan.
I would also mention you cannot breathe in here.
Okay.
Like,
But he's
this
like
is-
right at the floor.
No, sure, yeah. So you can get those words out,
Yeah.
but at this point in time, to
Yeah.
avoid choking, you're holding your breath.
Okay.
Cool.
And to give you the rule, you
Oh,
can
no.
hold your breath a number of minutes equal to 1 plus your Constitution modifier.
Luckily,
Oh, Malcolm, that's why you couldn't hold your breath.
2 minutes.
1 plus your
-1.
You must be a heavy smoker.
We gotta move quickly, otherwise I can't breathe.
You've got 1 minute. You have 1 minute.
Yeah, I can't get out because I've fallen down.
Oh, this is great.
Little 8 inch.
Okay. So
But the lock is on this side.
you're in just to give you your surrounding. It's really hard to see.
Yeah.
But you can just about make out what's going on around you. You're in a 15-foot wide corridor of sorts,
Yeah.
20-foot long. There's a door to your left, there's a door to your right. There's the big doors you just come through. There's the statues in the middle of this, like a sort of centerpiece. And then there's a T-junction at the far end of the room. There's a corridor to the left, a corridor to the right. And there is a door dead ahead of you as well. That all of the doors around you look to be that same mechanised style.
Even the door at the end of the corridor.
I'm going to reach my hand through. Felix, grab my hand.
Okay. He's gonna try and go for the Malkin hand.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grab,
Yeah, uncomfortable. You can comfortably
Okay.
reach him and pick him up.
grab him and yank him back through the hole.
I really appreciate that. I can breathe.
So you're still small. You've probably got 40 seconds or so.
Where was the lock? Is it just inside?
It's on the
Just.
right hand side.
Can I reach
my
if I
left-hand
put my
side.
arm through?
Probably very awkwardly. You couldn't, but probably a taller person could.
Can somebody what? Because my arm's too small.
Yeah.
Damn. I can give somebody.
Thorinir could at a stretch.
I'll go to you with lockpicking tools.
Yeah, I'm proficient in sickles. So that's like the same, isn't it?
Pretty much, I would say, yeah.
But if you've got a lockpicking kit, you don't have to have proficiency in lockpicking to do it.
I can give you. Yeah, I'll give you my lockpicks.
Give it to me.
Yeah, I think if anyone's picked a lock here that isn't you.
I mean, I haven't got a proficiency or anything like that, but it'll be dexterity, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Give it to me.
I'll give it to you.
All right.
Can I aid in this? Can I kind of talk Malcolm through the process?
Yeah. And you've got lockpicking tools, yeah.
Yeah. I'll keep in the beard.
Required.
Always in the beard.
Okay.
So I'm going to reach through and see what I can do.
Take it away.
Right. So this is dexterity. Oh, bugger. Now.
Was that a 1?
That was a 2.
Okay.
You
almost. You almost.
5.
Okay.
Plus my dex gives me 5.
Okay, well not quite so bad.
Can I-
You were fumbling with the key, like, whoa, nearly.
Can we have some form of advantage for I know I'm aiding Malcolm talking
Because he's
through the
reaching
process.
around the door. Yeah, it's not
Cool.
fun. And there's plumes of black
with
smoke.
acid all over his shoulder.
Thorinir, you've got the sickles. Have a go. Have a go.
Alright, I'm reaching in.
You don't think you could do it, so that's the way I do lockpicking normally. Yes. If you fail it, you can't. It's not like you can just keep having goes.
No,
you just don't
no.
think you'd be able to do this lock. But Thorinir, you're welcome to have a go.
And it's dexterity, is it?
Yes.
It is 17.
17. Not quite. You feel you can sort of hear a bit of maybe like a latch go, like a little something. So not quite enough. It's too awkward. You can't quite do it. You've probably got 20 seconds before you resize.
What did you see inside, Felix? You were talking about statues and stuff. Maybe you're right. What did you see inside?
I can't really remember. There's doors and statues.
Statues facing
a door
out.
down the end. Yeah, there's statues in a star formation on the inside. Maybe we have to arrange the statues on our side to match them.
Let's go.
Give it a go.
Do they rotate the statues
I don't
in this
know.
room?
Right.
I mean, the ones in
Downstairs.
the main room you're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Run down the stairs and
Yeah.
have a look at the. Right. Can you remember anything about the statues? What they were? Which one was
They're in
facing
an
where?
outward star formation.
Excellent.
Outward star. Well, this
Let's
is
Still
just-
small.
Let's just face. Let's see if I can move rotate any of the statues first.
No problem.
He doesn't just look small. He looks like a puppy version.
Aww, yeah, that's
Oh,
great. He does
big eyes.
He becomes a puppy.
So you try and move them. Not a chance. They're budging.
Right.
While this has gone on, I've carried on to the dead, not the guy in the pool. I want to go and see the dead augur that was by the lectern.
No problem. Yeah.
This motherfucker better have a key card.
Okay.
Swipe open.
That's a good idea.
So you're investigating him.
Yeah, I'm going to be going through his person to just see if he has anything. I want
Anything to open
freaking anything to open the door. Yeah.
Within his robe, you have returned to normal size. Within his robe
finally.
is a brass key.
Oh,
But there's no locks.
So
What the hell? This key looks
we've
like a
just
key?
melted the door lock on the
it's
big
fine,
door.
The mechanism's on the inside, just a long arm.
Ah.
What the hell's this key for?
Come on.
Cool. We're going to run back up and I'll double check the guy that's in the bottom of the pond as well. This brass key.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
get in-
jump. I'll jump in the pond and
check the rooms.
yeah, I'll see if he's got anything worth nicking
You're
on
stealing
him.
all the 2 pence pieces in the bottom of the wishing well.
Pocket!
All the money.
So
You're all a bunch of
You're
bastards.
calling up the guy in the pond.
Yeah,
Pull
pull him up, slap him on the side.
Looks to be a human augur, mop of brown hair. Again, clearly there was. Yeah, he's
Oh,
been
thank goodness, I've been holding my breath.
he's been killed. Some kind of stab wound. There's a lot of staining on his robe. Interestingly, the water isn't red. There's a lot of staining on his robe. And there are some pools of blood in the vicinity as well. As you check his person, there is nothing notable on him.
Okay, right.
I'm just going to take one of these keys, any door, There's no keyhole in that door. Just start pushing it over the door.
Pressing the key.
Just pressing the key.
Pressing the
What the hell has it got a key?
key.
There's a bloke with a key.
There's a key
In
on
the
far
building.
side through the acid hole.
Oh yeah,
That's
sure.
what they were
That's
trying
true.
to do.
Give me the key.
I might have looked a bit stupid rubbing the key. Oh yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Give the keys
this
to
is
door,
probably,
yeah.
if there was any scenario where anyone slaps anyone to like, snap out of it, man.
Give the key to the door and
The key. Someone have the key.
come on.
Passing the thorn in.
Anybody, take it. I was just like, I'm gonna.
And
Banging it.
you're reaching round through the hole.
Thorny can do the
Smoke
reach
is
around.
Pluming it really. Yeah, you are coughing or holding your
It's
breath.
fine.
Because
Let's get these other doors.
no temperature of note. Still, there's no like heat blast, which is a bit unusual. But
Incense.
as you reach round to try the key goes in the lock. But it does not turn. It doesn't feel like this is the right key.
It's not like key.
Well, stuffed you find out.
Yeah. Investigate the flower beds.
Okay.
Back down.
So investigate the flower beds. No problem.
It's got to be, has to be, something here, isn't
Yeah,
it?
we're each gonna take a flower
Yeah.
bed.
Yeah.
So we've looked over the statues. We've tried to rotate them. There's nothing immediately out. I can't think of the right word.
Extraordinary.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Extant.
Out of the ordinary.
Out of the ordinary was what. Was what I was looking
So I mean,
for.
you're welcome to investigate the statues. Yeah. Do you want to make an investigation roll?
I will because of this. Yeah. Oh, I've rolled it. It's 17.
17. They are the four races that we previously described: the Ossai,
I freaking love these people. Yeah.
Horned Elves,
Don't mean
and
nothing.
the Dwarves. Compared to the mysterious sort of smoky statues that you saw in the Void Caves, they're just normal statues.
Yeah.
There's nothing that really. They don't quite look the same. They're not like depicting the gods, as it were, that you saw in those statues previously. Or if they are, they're a poor
Yeah.
replica. They look like fairly generic but royal statues. So they look like they are kings and queens
Cool.
of their respective races.
Mm.
But there's no like slots or grooves or mechanisms that you can see.
We haven't found a single door that's got an actual keyhole on it.
No.
Can we try putting this key into one of the slots on one of the doors?
So which room are we in at the moment? Still in the main
Main
room?
room.
Yeah. And where are you roughly?
Oh, pick a door, any door.
You've got 3 on the left hand side, 3 on the right hand side.
I'll go for the one closest to the staircase up on the left-hand side.
Okay. So as you're walking around that area, there is the equivalent. We've got a new follower. Thank you very much.
Wow!
Who's that? Read the name quickly
The
before it goes.
information's working. Something, yeah. Jaffa
Thought I
Cake.
saw Jeff.
Jeff. We couldn't quite read it, but we'll say it was Jaffa Cake. It did begin with J. Thank you very much for the follow. We really appreciate it. Welcome to Die Rolling and our lovely trees. Thank you very much for the follow.
Hours of people trying to get through doors.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, as all D&D campaigns are. Let's be honest. So as you approach that left-hand side, on the rear wall, just next to one of the columns, you notice an equivalent panel next to the keyhole that you saw. Similar to the keyhole that you saw in the other room. It's a brass panel on the wall. There is a brass cog on the top part of this panel. On the bottom part, there is a keyhole.
Right, I
Do
go
it,
push,
do
put
it.
the key in and turn the cog.
You turn, as you turn the key, the cog actually turns by itself,
Oh right, okay.
and you hear a number of clicks from around
All the doors are unlocked.
the rooms.
I will push the door open.
The main
So
door.
the left one.
The one that I'm standing at.
Yeah, so the one, on the left-hand side, so like the rear left-hand side
So,
of this room.
yeah.
You guys all in the same area approximately. As you so you realise that unlike previously, there's no movement. You can push it, you can pull it, you can do anything to it. As you touch it, it's actually on a fairly it's fairly easy to move now, and it's a sliding door. It slides to the side, and the door disappears. And so this groove is for you to grip and pull it to the side. Okay.
There's a hallelujah.
Yeah.
As you come into this room, it's not so smoky down here. The other end of the room is starting to, you can see the black smoke filling out. You see a number of, it's 20-foot deep room left to right, 10-foot north to south. There's a number of what look like writing desks and chairs in there. There is an auger slumped over one of the desks, down, blood from the back, staining his robe and dripping onto the floor. And he's holding a book of some nature. The rest of the room is inconspicuous, really. You know, there's nothing of. It's a stone study room.
Yeah.
The only notable thing that jumps out is this auger holding this book, slumped dead.
I've got a dead auger here. Does anybody want to try any of the other rooms?
Let's try all the rooms.
Zolan's going to run to the top room.
You try. I'm going to. While he's doing that, I'm just going to have
main
a
room.
look at this auger, see if they've got anything on them. Key.
Absolutely. Yeah, not a problem. So as you investigate,
Map.
within one of the pockets of this white robe, that they're all wearing similar robes, there is another key.
I bet you that does the same thing. Opens them all like that.
The other key, just so you know, is in the lock, in the mechanism. You can retract it as such. It's still in the wall.
Yeah.
So there is another key. The only other thing is this book. As you see the title of this book, as you sort of just slightly move his body so he's not covering it up.
Kerrang magazine.
It's Kerrang! yeah. Field East Dreams edition. It's the it's titled The Sacred Cowl.
I reckon we need that book.
Yeah, I'm going to take.
It's in common.
I'm going to take the book.
Okay.
Stuff it in my bag.
Any rings?
As the top door opened, I've run to the top to check the bellowing doors. That opened with these?
So you're taking the handle
Yeah, I'm hoping. Anything?
and pulling it in. Okay. As you do so, Zolan, it opens, it pulls open.
I'll be
Can you give
screaming downstairs.
Can
Stop
you give me-
looting!
It's
Can
open!
Can you please
Not
give
looting.
me a dexterity saving throw?
Sure can, big man.
Not looting. Useful stuff.
We can come back to this.
I'll do the
It'll still
looting
be
later.
here. You want to save the dead people? Well, it's not very good. It is a 6.
6. As you can probably guess, that's not past the dexterity save.
That's right.
There could be some stair tumbling.
Then, effectively, as you open that door, is a big backdraft that occurs from the doors being, say, thrown open. You're not exactly thrown open. Slowly opening. There's a large backdraft, which I'm going to dampen slightly because there's already been a little bit of a hole. So it's not quite as a massive a backdraft as it would have been if you hadn't released some of that.
You can hit me full force. Zolan's
no,
alright. I'll take it.
So I'm going to give you.
What happens if I refuse to take it?
It's only 4 fire damage.
Cool.
Would have been more if you hadn't.
I've had worse in the shop.
It's a. The weird thing is, completely overwhelming, huge sort of bang. You're knocked back. Yeah, probably fly down the stairs.
Great.
I don't think there's any probably in it. I think somebody else is going down those stairs other than me.
You're in that room. The other two of you are closer to Malcolm than Zolan, so you're not affected by it. But were you in with Malcolm, or were you in the main room?
Probably in the main room.
In the main room. So as you, sort of at the corner of your eye, as you see Zolan doing this, this great. You don't really notice this because you're too busy being sort of exploded.
Yeah.
There's this great rush of black flame which emits from the building, just really briefly, like a big backdraft of flame, and it's black. You don't feel any temperature. It's not hot.
Cool. I am winded though. Landed on my
At
back.
that point, we are going to leave it there.
Of course
my
we
God.
are.
Good
Yes, of
God.
course we
Black
are.
flame is not
Black
good.
flame.
That's
Never,
not
never good.
Thank you very much. Thanks for our new follower. That was very
Yes,
kind.
thank you.
I hope you can.
The Jaffa man.
We look forward
The
to seeing
Jaffa
you. Look forward
man.
to seeing you again. We broadcast
Jaffa man.
every Tuesday, same time, which is
Have you got-
7:30 UK time,
It's been a while.
which is.
The clocks go forward this
But
weekend.
the clocks
so
are going back as
Oh.
well, so it's
I think
madness.
the US don't go for like a couple of days.
Spring
a couple of
forward.
weeks.
We're
Spring
normally
forward.
5 or 6
Spring
hours, 5 ahead of East Coast America, we're normally 8 ahead of West Coast, but with daylight savings, it's going to
I think for
do
about
a
2
funny
weeks
thing.
it extends,
Yeah,
and we're like 2
I
hours.
think we're only four hours ahead and 7 hours ahead.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Temporary.
Anyway,
I think there's a
we'll put it
couple
on,
of
we'll
like
put it
that.
on Twitter.
Daylight
Next Tuesday,
Slavings.
next Tuesday we'll be on. Please join us on at Die Rolling on Twitter. Thank you
At
very
Die
much, my
Rolling
players.
UK.
At Die Rolling UK.
At
At Die Rolling
Rolling
is a
U-
completely different person.
Yeah.
He must get so fed up with everyone tagging him.
Oh, we can
Yeah.
only hope.
But
Oh.
hi to him.
So many friends.
Yeah.
If I was this gentleman, I'd just reply. If
Yeah.
I was die rolling
Yeah.
us.
Probably doesn't log in.
Why not? Thank you to players, thank you to you guys, and
Thank you, Jack.
until next time,
Welcome back, Jack.
thank you very
Welcome
much.
back, Jack.
back.
We have been
Jack
Jack.
Roll.
Roll.